live here.
Mm,
Where am I?
okay.
Nico, I'm
Do I
gone.
have you up still?
What happened? Happening to me?
Oh,
Where am I?
I mean, your tail's there.
Oh, I found me. I was hiding. Me when I'm staring at you from behind the tree.
Oh my god.
Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Hi, Lucid.
Oh,
I'm here when they're
so,
clearly not here. Yeah, my bad. What's up?
okay, so they could have done it.
They could have
Because
done
the
it.
third one was live. The third effect of Yummy Surprise was live. But I don't know if they would have. I mean, I guess they just needed to activate it in the right sequence. It doesn't matter. Oh my god, sorry. I'm talking about a duel situation that nobody got to see except me, where I like hypothetically could have gotten through a Yummy board via called buying on a full board, but I think they could have like sequenced Yummy Surprise into a quick play to free up their board so that they could special summon the called buy target. I love Yu-Gi-Oh, guys.
Yu-Gi-Oh's really cool. I like Yu-Gi-Oh. You could even say I
Ah,
really like Yu-Gi-Oh, but that might be pushing it. If I'm being fully real.
do my
Um,
hot chocolate sips come through the mic?
do a hot chocolate sip. It does, but it's a little endearing, so I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah, no, I wasn't gonna worry about it. I was just
Oh,
curious.
okay. Well, fuck me, I guess.
Yeah. I'm
How do
sorry.
you? How do you? I'm no. I'm now. I'm mad because I can't fucking figure out the thing to. I feel like there should be something where you set up like a folder and you press that folder and then it like cycles to the next thing, right? Like, um,
I don't know what you
create.
mean. I'm sorry.
Maybe it's just create folder in zero. I no, but if it's a folder that takes you somewhere, that's not what I want. What I want is a import action.
How many days
Mm,
left?
no, I don't want to do that.
Oh, I guess I'm supposed to. I guess I got to do 3 solo modes before that quest finishes. Give me a second.
You're fine. Yeah, yeah. Do your solo modes. I'm setting up. Hi, Lucid. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm trying to set up a little podcasty screen here. Is this?
Is this not good? Surely this gives gems. This does give gems. Thank God.
I don't know if I should actually have like.
Only does 2 duels. Frick you.
I'm sure that's
And we
fine.
can do it anyway.
Unfortunately, I'm not very smart. Replay buffer, save, scene collection. So there's a source visibility thing. What you would want is like a toggle, but like it's to go to the next. It's to go to the next thing. I just don't want to have to like scene transition. I don't want to have to make like 7 scenes and then I guess I could make 7 scenes instead of having like all of my sources in one group. Just have like 7 scenes. Okay, hold on. Actually, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do it the stupidest way possible. I'm gonna do this, and then this
Oh,
one we're gonna do this. So we go here, and then we go. Oh right, because it's pasted. It's not pasted. It's a damn it.
maybe JD. Over the course of this, I think I'm gonna build Pearly, Pearly Yummy. I think I'm like. I think I'm not playing into my strengths. I think if I if I put my brain to maximum capacity and just figure out Mimigal Yummy, I think I will be able to.
Wait, no, this doesn't work because then
The
it's
screen is now black, JD.
yeah. No, I'm aware of that. I'm aware of that. I'm sorry. I know I should have probably figured out some of these things before stream, but I'm like go here. The problem is I'd have to like remake the scene like every single time, which I don't want to do.
Why not?
Um there's got to be I guess I
What's the
could.
problem?
So I'm trying to take my sources and then like find some way to just toggle this in this folder, like toggle the next one on and the previous one off. It's not a complicated thing to do, but I don't know what button or button combination does that. I tried to make another scene, but if I was making a new scene, then it would there's no way to paste a scene as a duplicate. So anytime if I copy and paste the scene and then I make a change to the next scene, it makes the change to the first scene for some reason, which is really dumb. I don't know why that's how that works, but that is apparently how that works. If that makes any sense
Yeah,
whatsoever.
probably.
I mean, I would love for my transition to be like goated with the sauce, but I guess we can. I mean, I guess I can just do it manually. That's that's the alternative. I'll just do it manually.
Oh, I'm supposed to do that. I see. Okay.
Do you wanna stream your game so that I can.
Oh, sorry. I can't because it's on on phone.
You're doing
Because I'm still down.
Zico's gaming on
Well,
her
because I'd
phone.
have to download the.
No, I
I'd
get
have
you.
to download the 6 GB
No,
update.
I get you. I'm not actually like mad or anything like that. I'm annoyed that there's not a fucking way to do this in any sort of thing that I can like think of. I don't know. This is dumb. This is dumb, but you know what? If I'm being really like if I'm being really
Yeah, right.
I'm being really honest with myself, I can just suck it up and do this and figure out another way to do it later. Properties. Now the one thing I will do is I'm going to make the alignment centered. So that every time I open this up. Never mind. Properties. Yoink. Alignment. Right? I guess it doesn't matter. It's always just gonna start right over there. All right, well, whatever.
Oh, now I can do it. That's hilarious.
All right, Zico's finishing up her duel, and then we'll get into the bullshit that I was gonna do today because
I
I
mean,
think
I'm ready.
it'll be fun. You're ready? Are you?
I'm in solo mode, to
Oh,
be clear,
you're
right
in.
now.
Okay, you're in solo mode. That's interesting. That's You know what? I respect the drip because I don't do enough solo mode. I'm not gonna lie. I
Well, like I
really.
said, the solo mode quest that is perpetually in my inbox, it ends in 13 hours, so I'm just getting my 3 duels in for that.
Oh yeah, yeah. You know what? True. All right, I will do one thing while you get your solo mode quests in because there is one
No,
thing I
I'm
can.
ready.
No. There's one thing that I can do, and it is do a scene transition from title transition swipe fade. So we'll just do swipe, and
I can just pick it up.
well I need a scene transition to scene transit too. I guess I'll just multi-action switch scene. Scene scene transition. Is it before or after, do you think?
What?
Don't worry about it. Don't even worry about it, Zeke.
Oh my god, chicken game was on the field, right?
Chicken game. Damn, that's unfortunate. Sorry about that.
No, it's fine. You definitely got to do the goblin solo mode.
I don't think I've done it yet. Yeah.
Oh, you got to do it. You should.
Ooh. Okay. And
Two
honestly,
of
I kind
me.
of like that.
Two of me. Why were there question marks there? That's rude. That's rather rude of you.
Why? Okay. One, you should be here. What am I doing? Doing,
I
Zico?
can probably just do this. I don't know.
That's a good question. Oh, my thing was on anime. Studio. Yeah, I mean, it should be VTube Studio. What the heck? All right. So this is unfortunately a technical stream for now. What? What can you do?
Do
You can
Chat.
minus 2 me. It's okay. Like I'm trying really hard, but you know,
Oh,
it's
well,
not
now
like I mean, it's not. Just gotta paste this in here and then yeah. Sorry, what is that? What does that mean? Does the AI cheat? Mm-hmm. Okay, well, I mean that's you know that's reassuring, I suppose. Fuck. Yeah, don't worry. I'm thinking I'm now like saying the same thing to myself because I did all my edits in the wrong source. Zico, I did it on the I did it on the wrong layer. I did it all on the wrong layer. What on earth? Why is it this weird? What is happening? I wish I knew. I wish I understood why. Now OBS has gone off the screen for me. This is. I'm actually crying. I need a F11 OBS. Whatever I did, go back. Whatever I did, go back. So a small issue. You know how like there's like this little bar on the top that's like minimize, full screen, etc. Right? Um. Yeah. So it's now off the screen. I can't get to it. I can't get to it. How do you fix this? How do you fix this specific problem? Um Minimize what do you call the thing on the top? The tray, the taskbar? App taskbar off screen. Shift right click move. I don't think that helped. What? Shift right click the icon? Oh, move. Oh shit. I didn't know you could do that. Shift. Okay. Check this out. Actually, I want to show everybody this because it's like super cool. So if you have I somehow put this thing that, you know, OBS on, and it's got the minimize, maximize, close things on it. I put it off the screen somehow and I got stuck there. But as it turns out, you can shift right click the application thing and then either move it or just like maximize it to just put it back in the window. That's actually really cool. That's actually really cool. I like that. Nico, why am I wide? I've made myself wide. I know. I know. I'm struggling. I'm struggling so bad. Zico, why is this happening? Why does my beautiful thing forsake me? Why the mermails flowing underground? Yeah, I mean it's like literally the best I can do. It's being VTube Studio is being so fucking weird for no reason. Okay, and this is just so that I can swap real quick and didn't swap. What the fuck? Yeah, I don't know what's happening. Strange things are happening. Okay. No, I'm cool with that. Oh, I know what's going on. It's a wait, no. Scene, Zico and JD. Scene, Grill of the Kitchen Cell. And then it's a scene transition to maybe if I do it like this, will that make it better? So there's like this is really annoying. What? What the fuck? Zico, how come my stream deck isn't working properly? I also don't know. It's really awkward. So now it says that I have transitions to this scene that we're currently on, and then I should studio mode. No, okay, that's not what we want to do. Scene transition. Set the scene transition. What if I just get rid of the scene transition? What then? Does that help? No, it doesn't. For a reason that I simply cannot understand. Do my BRB things work? Okay, well, I mean, this is really dumb, but I guess you know what? Multi-action. Multi-action. I love it when I mean I love working in this. This is Stream Deck is like the most powerful tool ever, and it can't do it can't do normal things. It can only do like the most insane convoluted shit you've ever thought of. It can't do anything normal. That's kind of the Faustian bargain that you make when you get a Steam Deck. Don't know why, but that's just how it goes. Scene transition. Like, what? Oh right, we're in Grill of the Kitchen Cell. My bad. Okay, see that makes sense. You know, you know, Zico, it is what it is. Copy, paste. Yes. So now for this one, I do that. So now whenever we want to go here, we're already here. Now we're here. And now we're here. And now we're here. This is, I mean, this is a really inefficient way of doing it, but not the worst way of doing it. I've broken it now. I've broken it again. I think I tried to put a stinger in, and was like, I think that fucked it up really bad for some. Yes, that like I did that, and then everything went to shit. Everything went to shit.
Yeah. That is what happened. You're right.
I'm gonna restart. I'm gonna restart this.
Okay.
No, not the stream. The just Stream Deck.
Okay.
Okay, so apparently if you attempt to run a stinger, you have killed yourself. You have destroyed all your hope and dream.
Oh,
Yeah, I
I
don't know
see.
why that's the it really is the silent killer. But I think now that I know that, I think we can use this knowledge. Knowledge which doesn't it's not supposed to be how it works. But let's do a cut and then let's do a fade and then yeah, I wanted to do this because this is well we've now been on for like an hour and a half, right? Like with me doing this. I'm so sorry. I had everybody in chat. I had a really long work trip today. I was traveling for 3 days and then I got home and I fell asleep and I took a nap. Is that so much of a crime to have a succulent nap?
I mean, again, it was the only crime was that you're shocked that you took a nap.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, I mean, true. I mean, true. I shouldn't have done that. I should have known better. I don't remember what profile I'm in. This is the Among Us profile. I am now starting I accidentally started Among Us. Okay. Um hold on. I have to go undo that. I understand. But thank you for not being thank you for not taking forever Among Us. Okay, thank God. Here we go. No, this no longer works. This is now not doing the thing that it was supposed to be doing.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Whoops. Messed
See,
that one up. That's fine.
the awesome thing is in OBS, it's actually just like saying, "Yeah, you are now in the other one." And then when I'm when I'm in OBS, it's like it's okay. Lock preview. So what is happening here? I have somehow I don't know what I've managed to do is the strange and an off-putting thing. Okay, so I have done that. And now I've done this. And now the multi-action switch. What if I add in like a delay of 200 milliseconds?
No, I probably do have to. I'm sorry.
Go relatively soon.
No, hit you with the -2.
It's fine. Here's what I'm gonna do. Scene multi-action. I'm so scared. Like this is scaring me because it's just not working. And I don't really know why that is. But maybe it's because there's no duration. I'll let 300 milliseconds.
Probably. Like it does need a duration to do something.
But it wasn't copy
I assume.
paste.
I don't know.
I mean maybe. It could be. That would be really weird if that was what was going on, but now it's see, okay, so now that that works, why are you reversed? I've reversed you for some reason. I've reversed you. Reversed you in this. That's okay. That's okay. Transform. Flip horizontal. Here we go. Because you were facing the other way. All right. I fixed it. I fixed it. I fixed it. Okay. So this now. No, I
Oh,
did.
now you did.
Yeah. No, I did. That tracks. we're going to eliminate the microphone thing because I don't think I use it very often. So now that I have confirmed what I've been doing, I'm gonna take this, copy it, paste it in here. That doesn't work. I can't do that. Okay. Scene transition. 300 milliseconds. No. Oh, fuck! I accidentally hit stinger. Okay. Hopefully it's okay because I didn't call it anything. You see how fraught this is? This is, this is insane. This is also the reason that like I don't stream as much as I could, because like I can't tell you how many hours I've just spent doing this. Like I feel like a dunce. I feel like I'm like the only person in the world who doesn't understand technology. But, you know, if that's just how it is. Okay, so 2 actions. So if in this action we are in grill of the kitchen cell, and in this action this other one. So if we're here, then I do this, then that works. Was it as simple as like, wait, was it really as simple as me just, okay.
Probably.
All right, well, I mean, I guess that works. I mean, I guess that works. I mean, I suppose if that's all that there is to it, then I'm ready to get started. Although I might want to take like a 5 minute. I might want to take 5 just to like mentally reset now that everything's done. But if you're good with that, well, I mean, it's your business too. You're here, having fun with me. We're enjoying each other's company. I would hope. I know I'm just rambling, so you know you can be honest with me. All right. Okay. Yeah.
You gotta take care of yourself, friend.
Okay. All right. Here's what's gonna happen. 5 minutes. I'm gonna put us on BRB. I'm going to
Okay.
play some kind of musical, and then um we'll get back to it. And we'll start our fun little Yu-Gi-Oh podcast because
Sure.
we have lots of love for the game and each other and the community, and we are going to guest star on Will of the Council 8 weeks from
No,
now.
we won't. I to be clear, only because I want to actually I want the actual Yu-Gi-Oh show, please.
You don't want the random bullshit podcast?
I'm sure it's good, but I've never listened to
I
it, so I
actually
wouldn't
I
know.
actually haven't. It's on YouTube, so I've actually been like, "Oh shit. I didn't realize." I'm going to start listening to it and see what we can do with it.
That's fair.
All right. All right. 5 minutes. I'll be right back, and we will see you
Okay, bye.
then.
Yeah, for the past 10 hours, 2 hours.
You
Not
know,
to be
I
snarky
will
about
no,
it.
that's that's fair. I have taken a little while
Yeah,
to get
because
this
you've
set
been
up.
on a work trip for 3 hours and are tired and just woke up from a nap. I'm not. That's completely reasonable.
Oh, hold on. I do need to add one more thing. No, no,
Just
no.
add 5.
It was the first one. It's
Ooh, ZA. Nice. Glad she's getting back to that.
yeah, I never actually
I'll have to start.
actually figured this out.
Oh, we're live.
Yeah, we're live.
Okay.
Okay, there we go. There we go. Now we have the episode title up. That's the oh fuck, I pasted this as a duplicate. Hold on. Oh, that's why. Okay, so you are delete, copy,
Oh, I'm still on the -2. Chat, are
paste.
you there?
I don't think chat's there. I think I've driven away chat with my
No, it's fine. I know chat's there. Chat, give me a Pokemon. Can be any Pokemon. Oh. Oh, that's nice.
perfect. Now I can rename this. All right, we're good. I'm okay. All right, I guess we need a Pokemon to start. If we don't have a Pokemon, we can't start.
No, we can definitely start. I want to be very clear. We can start, but I'm gonna be watching you, chat. I would like a Pokemon, please. Am I
Okay.
not going?
No, you're going. You're going. You got a Pokemon. It's Dusclops.
No. I think. Okay, no. There we go. I thought the captioner wasn't picking me up. Is what I meant.
Oh, the Captioner? Yeah, no, the Captioner's gone. Is it? Wait.
Yeah, no, it's going now.
Well, now it's going. Yeah,
Yeah.
it gets a little finicky sometimes because if it's not like if there's not a part of it that's visible, it can get a little cranky. Okay. So, all right. What was your Pokemon question about?
Oh, nothing. I just wanted a Pokemon.
You can have many Pokemon. Depends on what game you buy.
Oh,
All right. Welcome to the Zico Pod featuring JD, the
which is not
new
what it will be called.
the new the new hit show on youtube.com for all of your Yu-Gi-Oh needs. I'm your co-host JD, they them, purple and large, and Zico is also here.
Hi,
You want to introduce yourself?
I'm Zico. Zico Fool.
So yeah, so we're gonna talk
Why can't
about
I find this?
we're gonna talk about all things. We're gonna talk about all things Yu-Gi-Oh. By all things Yu-Gi-Oh, I mean some things Yu-Gi-Oh. But honestly, I'm ready to hit a pretty comprehensive list of stuff that is happening in Yu-Gi-Oh. I have been playing Yu-Gi-Oh for 1.1 years in the modern format, which allows me
Okay, modern. I was gonna say,
yeah.
I think
Well, I mean, I played Yu-Gi-Oh, Championship 2007 on the Nintendo DS, but like my best strategy was set roulette barrel pass. So, do you? I mean, do you think that
you should
qualifies
try
me?
that. You should start doing that strategy again.
I'm pretty sure I've actually streamed Yu-Gi-Oh Championship 2007 like recently-ish. Like I remember
I
playing it
do
at the least.
remember that happening
Yeah.
somehow. I wasn't there for the actual stream, but I feel like I remember seeing that happen
It
somehow.
yeah, it was not actually like super easy, even with like the advanced deck knowledge building that I have. So, props to that game for being like a proper challenge.
Yeah.
And so I've been playing Yu-Gi-Oh for in the modern format for about a year now. Zico, what's your Yu-Gi-Oh experience?
I've been act. I've follow. I I've been following Yu-Gi-Oh forever. Like even when I wasn't playing it, I was still half following it. I was there at the start. Basically played casually as a child up until Synchro era. Got back into it for high school at XYZ era, start of leading into the Pendulum era. Let Stopped in college because I didn't have anybody to play with, which I think was beginning. I think I like just missed Link era in regards to actually playing with them. And then I got back into it after college when I at like Pearly introduction. Actually, no, I think I got back. I like started dipping my toe back in before. This is what this is going to be. By the way, I'm just going to ramble on for hours when JD says like one thing about and was looking for like a small answer.
You are a small
But
answer on
I
account of your size.
what
It's because you're small. All the
that is
answers you
true.
give are
I'm very
small.
small and tiny. But my yeah, like Ignister era into like Pearly. I like actively got back into it with Pearly one way or another. Like that's when I actually started playing. I like started playing uh and obviously I played Master Duel when it first came out and then I stopped for a bit and I don't remember the timeline. When did Master Duel come out? That
Uh,
was like COVID era, right?
yeah, it came out like 2021, right? Or 2022?
Okay, yeah. So it must have been like I got into Master Duel a little bit, then probably dropped off Master Duel for a bit because it was early Master Duel, of course. And then friggin' Pearly came out, which is the best archetype of all time, and single-handedly got me back into Yu-Gi-Oh! Full play for a while. I was actually going to TCG events locally with the one that I had, where my high school friends still show up. Like the people I played with in
Wow.
high school, like three of them still go to the same event now that when every time I go, I always still see them. It's so nice. It's so funny. I didn't keep in contact with them for that whole like period when I wasn't playing in college, which I feel bad about. But like, it's so funny that like I just go back and then bam.
There we go.
Oh,
You know what? Now that you said that, it reminded me. I did play Duel Links in 2018 and 2019, and I did get to King of Games, but
you did you did have a mastery over Duel Links early on Duel Links, which I do commend you for.
thank you. You mean in total fairness, that was like before extra deck stuff came out because I think I ran like
No,
at most ever like 5 synchro monsters, and like my best one was like Colossal Fighter. So like that was the level of synchro.
no, that can't be. You did.
No, I didn't have any.
Oh, did Aroma not have the synchro stuff? Was Aroma meta just off of the base monsters?
Yes, Aroma was meta just off the base monsters, without
Holy
even
frick,
like
that's right.
like the wind trap cards too, because I don't recall ever playing like Blessed Winds, Dried Winds, Humid Winds, anything like
I think
that.
like I
Maybe like
feel
one of
like
them.
one of them was, but you're
It might
probably
have just
right. I
been.
don't think they were.
Yeah, no, like
Holy frick, that's hilarious.
yeah, I was playing extra deckless Aroma, extra deckless Mako, extra deckless I already said Aroma. UA. UA was like my big one. I was playing UA in the height of the Amazon meta, and it was like insanely hard because it was just not a stronger deck than
Oh,
Amazon. But as soon as the meta changed, my UA strategy was like ripping through people because
yeah, that sounds
they
right.
hadn't figured out a new meta, and I was like, doesn't matter, my shit's not hit. And then I
Oh,
stopped
right, I'm
playing because
supposed
it
to
was
be.
so mentally taxing. But yeah, no,
Oh,
that's
I should switch off -2.
yeah,
Continue, I'm sorry.
no, that's fine. Um, I'm actually we do have an ad break coming up, so I could take like a 90 second, and then we can go into the next segment. Yeah, I know, right? Like I really timed this great. Okay, 90 second ad break, and then we'll come back. Okay,
Okay.
excellent first segment. We really crushed it.
I mean, I did.
Yeah, no, you did fantastic. So then we're gonna talk about the Draco Tail Yummy next.
Sure, why not?
I mean, it's it's the thing. Also, I'm realizing that if you go to the tier list in Master Duel Meta and look at the tier list and hit show engines, that it actually makes a little bit more sense. Um,
Yeah.
because it's like if you don't do Mitsurugi, if you don't do engines, Mitsurugi is like Ryziel Mitsu at 7, Orcust Mitsu at 2. But if you hit show engines, Mitsurugi engine is at 28.5, and it's like, Oh, that's a much better. Like,
Yeah, that's correct.
I really haven't been. Meanwhile, Draco Tail is just 43.5. Everyone's like, yeah, no. Malice still hanging in there. Malice is. People are running a Chi-Chi at Ignister, which actually makes a lot of sense. But I've been playing. Well, we'll get into this. We'll get into our builds, but I've been playing a card that I think you would actually adore. That I've been playing.
In Malice?
Yeah.
What? Oh, right. Are we still?
No, we're somewhere out.
Okay, yeah.
All right, and we are back in 3, 2, 1, and all right, we're back. Okay, it's time for our first segment. Are you ready, Zico?
Sure.
All right, let's talk about the meta, because we are now in January 2026, and Draco Tail Yummy is the king of Master Duel, or I mean the non-gender
The
specific
two
ruler of Master
decks.
Duel.
Yeah, the two decks are the meta.
Yes, and this is obviously
Well,
what?
that's not fair. I would say that the three decks are the meta because you can still just run Mitsurugi with anything. It's just that Yummy's the best thing to pair them with.
Yeah, well, Mitsurugi. I suppose the Mitsurugi engine is up there, but I would say that the two top decks are Yummy Draco Tail in whatever way that you're playing them. Yummy Mitsu obviously very powerful. Draco Tail does like Magistus Draco Tail. They do branded Draco Tail, pure Draco Tail if you want to as well. And that I think contrasts really interestingly with a few months ago, where Malice Ryziel was the meta, and it was similarly a 2 deck field. Obviously, with Ryziel, you could be playing Onomat Ryziel. You could be playing. What else were people playing other than Onomat Ryziel? Was like anything like realistically in there?
I mean, Mitsu, once Mitsu got here.
Oh yeah, obviously Mitsu Ryziel too. Of course, I felt like they were running a couple of like there were a couple other rank 4 like side engines that people were throwing in there, but I don't remember super much. And obviously Malice was the other one, and both Mitsu, Ryziel, and Malice are still around in a certain capacity, but they're definitely
Yeah, they're
tier
still
two to the.
playable. They just are not consistent because they hit everything to one other than whatever your deck actually got banned.
Yeah, it's ban red ransom, all main deck monsters except for March Hare to 1. Um,
Which is fine. There's like 20 ways to get to all of them anyway.
yeah, it's just like really like I mean, it's a lot more slippery. You have to go through a lot more
Yeah,
hoops to get there, which is awesome because you already had to go through. There Malice famously had so few hoops to go through in order to get their combos set up. But whatever,
that is correct.
whatever. That's fine. But no, yeah, Draco Tail Yummy. How are you feeling about Draco Tail Yummy in the current meta, Zico?
Uh, I'm feeling better about it now that I'm not fighting when I fight actual Yummy. And like Yummy is a fun deck to fight against, but when it's the issue is that Master Duel has all of those annoying cards banned. So realistically, what happens with Yummy is it's Mitsu Yummy, which admittedly is by all accounts fine. It's like it produces some of the most powerful boards you can produce. So it's just annoying when I'm playing my stupid little decks that aren't very good and they can interact with me 20 times in ways that I can't do anything about. Um, Yummy itself, though, is like such a fun engine and way to play. I'm very glad that Yummy is here. I'm hoping that we can hit Mitsu in a way where I don't see exclusively Mitsu Yummy all the time, and not be able to play when I just don't draw hand traps. Um, and Draco Tail's annoying.
Yeah,
I really like its play style. Like in theory, I think of like a long grind game deck is a really fun way to take modern Yu-Gi-Oh! With like its draw engine, its stupid little draw engine. I hate that draw engine, but it's such a cool way of handling itself. Like the recursion plus draw is just super stupid, but it's a really interesting game design way to take things. Um,
I have to agree with you on the Draco Tail thing because it is like Here's my hot take. My hot take is that Draco Tail is just Millennium but good.
No,
Yeah, I mean, I
not at
think
all.
so. I think it's a fusion. It's a fusion archetype that spits out like a really solid dude, and then, unlike Millennium,
No,
continues to do stuff.
no,
I
no.
mean,
Yeah,
you
because the
know,
dudes don't matter. The main dude doesn't matter because all it is a
it's just a
the
big
whole
guy.
difference is that the probably the biggest power in Draco Tail is one, the fact that like you just need to fusion summon, and most of the effects are from either the traps that are then set from fusion summoning, or from the fact that the fusion summon guys sometimes do something when they are sent for a fusion summon. Like one of the guys lets you pop once if you use a Draco Tail card, and the other guy on summon does something. Neither of them and neither of them need to stay on field for Yummy to actually do most of its interactions. Like, oh, the traps are all independently good, I think. Let me double check that actually. Do any of the traps require anything, or can they just activate for free?
No, you there are additional effects that let you like Flame gives you the draw if you have a Dracotail card in your graveyard, but if you don't have it, it's still the spell trap negate. And I believe that that is the same for Horn and Sting. Although I don't have Sting up. Wait, no, I do. Yeah, yeah.
Oh my god, it
Yeah, it's just
is.
the playing it in Dracotail obviously gives you the draw, which is
These are such dumb traps.
can I like
Sorry.
I,
These
I
are
don't
really dumb traps.
I don't want to be
Like,
like
they're just.
yeah, I don't want to be that person, but everyone was getting really mad at Malice because you could build a board and then stock up and have like a 7 card hand by the end of it if you played your
Well,
cards
yeah, I
right.
don't care about the hand size.
But I think a
That's
lot
not the issue of either of
I
these.
think people had a real problem with that with Malice, and
Yeah,
with
well,
Draco
they're
Tail,
wrong.
it's like it's the same thing. It's you cycle through your archetype, and you get all of your draws +3 from the trap cards, which is the same as Malice with the draw from Rightbinder and the 2 draws from Chessy Cat, and it's I get the feeling that Draco Tail is a much more enjoyed deck, but I don't
Yeah,
think that
that is correct.
like the only difference is it's lower to the ground, so it's like I don't know that
Yeah,
it's any
correct.
easier to stop
It's
than
not like, I mean, if it, like a long ass combo deck intrinsically is easier to stop 90% of the time. Like the issue of Draco Tail is like you can't really interact with anything in a meaningful way. At least going first, like all of the graveyard effects, you would.
well you can
Let
still
me actually
like
read some of these guys.
I'm can't
I need
you
to reread them.
I believe you can
Because they
activate.
set directly from deck, you can't ash them. So like, and you can't called by going first. They're also all weird elements, so you can't. Well, I guess not all of them, but like uh, a bunch of them are weird elements, so you can't even
I do.
bestial them just to get them out of the graveyard.
Yeah, I mean, and I do think, well, they definitely can do stuff going like turn 0 because Urgula pops when used for fusion summon, Malulu negates when used for fusion summon, Arthalion bounces depending on what cards you use. So like
Yeah, Arthalion.
even if your sets can't activate that turn, you're still getting stuff to happen. It's not all the time, but certainly
Yeah,
some of the time.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So
Like Draco Tail's like a really interesting way to take a modern Yu-Gi-Oh deck, and I like it in theory. It's just really, um, as always, I have to say this through the lens of I am currently playing Mimigul Pearly because no one can stop me, uh, which is coloring my opinion on a lot of the meta because I have to deal with Droll ending my turns forever. But that seems to be the case with every other deck that I pick, which I guess is my own problem and no one else's. But
no,
I'm
I
still going to
mean
complain about it.
everybody like I mean any Mitsu related deck gets kit by Droll. I don't know. I don't believe Yummy cares about it overly much. And I think
It
that
doesn't end its turn, but it does hamper things if it is like the first thing that happens because you do, depending on the hand, admittedly, because you can get a really solid play off, but like if you're like, for instance, if your only thing is Cupsy in hand. If your only Yummy is Cupsy and then you get a bunch of non-engine, like you can do a lot off of just Cupsy, but like it's normal summon, you search, you get drolled, and then you can't do like the search to Yummy cards, for instance, which is a big hamper. Like droll doesn't kill the deck if you have a good going first hand, but if you're stuck with a bunch of non-engine, then you're pretty limited. Again, that's just the Yummy side of the deck.
Yeah.
Obviously, like top Yummy is plain Mitsurugi, which can just play through Droll without a care in the world. I have learned
Wait.
the hard way.
Um, I guess that's well. Is that
No, it doesn't add. It doesn't add anything. So,
well?
admitted, like I drolled pre-prep, so they already had Mirror and Habakiri in hand, and then they just still had a pretty full combo from there.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, once you get ritual in rotation, if you like Saji, yeah, fair enough. I mean, adding prayers is important. Um, but I mean, I think Mitsu is. I think it's not that Mitsu is necessarily weak to droll in like Mitsu Ryzeal. It's like, yeah, it really hampers what you can do with the deck.
Well,
Presumably,
that's what I'm saying. I'm
yeah.
saying it's not weak to Droll.
Interesting take. I had considered Mitsu as a little bit more vulnerable than perhaps it actually was, but
No, not at all. Like I think technically it's actually more vulnerable to. I think it's only vulnerable to like Dominus Trap, which because it or Ash and Dominus Trap because it special summons from deck. I guess does it? Hold on, let
yeah, I
me.
mean, well,
I
the
don't.
special summon from deck means it gets hit by Fua, so you know.
Oh yeah, Fua. That's a card that I've ever shown any care about being in this
I
meta at all.
we're gonna talk about this later because
It's nothing. It doesn't
there's a
matter.
Fua versus Raigeki battle that's boiling, but
What?
well, don't worry about it. So I guess my
Oh, I know what you're talking about. No, I don't think
don't worry about it.
Raigeki's
Don't worry
better
about
than.
it. Don't
Well,
worry
I
about
do
it.
think Raigeki's better than Fua, but only in
You know,
a
in aesthetic and
liminal
in
sense.
principle, it's better.
Yeah,
Here I have two questions about Draco Tail Yummy to wrap up this thought, and it's that which
sure.
one do you, or sorry, which one do you think is going to be better as a, I guess, as I suppose as an engine, not specifically a deck, but which side do you think is going to be stronger as an engine going forward, Draco Tail or
Oh,
Yummy?
I mean, it's going to be Draco Tail for sure because Yummy is very good on its own, but it really is like more important what the side engine is for Yummy. I think like Yummy is really good. Admittedly, I don't know the most. Like unlike the previous two metas where I was a little more aware of what we were getting into, I haven't really followed the Draco Tail Yummy Canine trio like when it was happening in the TCG and is happening in the TCG. I guess nothing really changed there. So especially Canine, I know nothing really about. So we'll see going forward in a week's time when we get that stuff. I'm assuming Canine is just going to be dominant once we actually get that. But
Interesting.
I think like Draco Tail just like individually is a I don't know. It's hard to say because like Yummy can just like produce a bunch of stupid cards that none of the other decks can because it just gets to. Because Master Duel has access to all of the stupid cards like Barone and
True. And
uh
Sprite Elf. Well,
Sprite Elf. I mean, Sprite Elf is fine, but it's not one of the stupid cards within the context of like it's stupid for Yummy specifically, which is actually more interesting than what I'm talking about. Like the fact is like it's Yummy is very good at getting like uninterrupted a bunch of materials on board. So like back not a problem right now, obviously, because we don't have Apo, but like this would be an Apo deck. Like
oh, 100%.
Curly would be like, yeah, it would be like, oh no, it
You're
wouldn't be an Apo
you're
deck. It
by the
wouldn't be an
way,
Apo deck specifically because of
oh, the restrictions.
Snatchy's
Yeah.
one restriction, but like the fact that it can get into Barone, the fact that if you play certain engines, you can get into Naturia Beast and just permanently turn off spells, for
The
instance.
worst card that's not a problem. It's the worst card that it really does not matter, but is
Yeah, I mean,
annoying and
yeah,
good.
yeah, that's effectively true. But like, any that's yeah,
I do feel
but
like
yeah, I think like go on.
Yummy's gonna kind of take like the Malice spot as like the much more complicated deck, but the one that has a higher ceiling. Since Draco Tail is much like easier to get into and start playing. Whereas I think that Yummy probably has a higher ceiling in the long run. But that kind of does segue into the second question I was going to ask is um, how do you anticipate? I don't know. Do you think that A9 coming in is going to like make things
Yeah.
better or worse?
I think the fact that there will be a third deck to play will make it more interesting, at least in regards to if you're playing the meta. I think if you're not playing the meta, it's going to make it a lot more annoying because I do think it is probably going to be the best deck in the room of the three. Because I think Vanquish Soul is only partially hit. I imagine it'll depend on if they pre-hit Canine like they did for
I believe they've
Yummy
already.
and only Yummy. I just want to bring that up. They did pre-hit Yummy. They did not pre-hit Draco Tail for some reason. I don't think it was a hit that mattered that much. I don't know if people were even ever running 3 Snatchy as opposed to 2. I think 2 is enough most of the time. But I do just feel like they oh right, but the bigger they did pre-hit Yummy in a big way because they killed Obedience Schooled, which at the beginning of the meta was like one of the big game-ending cards for Yummy. Which, admittedly, I'm not saying they shouldn't have hit it. Like, obviously, they should have. In Master Duel, especially, I think Obedience Schooled in the Yummy engine would just be a literally impossible to do if you don't Ash it. I think it's impossible to beat Obedience Schooled Yummy because I think you would just be able to make all the stupid cards in the world. You would be able to probably like set up Barone plus Fossil Pass, the Fossil Dyna plus a Yummy board or something stupid like that.
Yeah, and I'm gonna show us over. I'm gonna show us the ban list here real quick. They did hit. They did announce that for February 5th, banning Ryziel Cross, which is interesting because I don't think that that was really taking over the meta super much. Maxi to 1, which we're gonna talk about, but for Vanquish Soul stuff, they put Jiaolong to 2, they put Stake Your Soul to 2, they put Raisin to 2. I guess to just make the deck a little less consistent. I don't think that any of these needed to be at 3 to make the deck work, but I mean, obviously, just which they might. I'm wondering if because they let Ryziel Malice go for so long that we might have Draco Tail Yummy for maybe like 2 months before. I Oh, for sure. I think the meta is going to be a lot nicer with 3 main decks. Yeah, TCG has Yokel to 1, Case for Canine to 1, and Holly Sue for 1, and I don't believe they have any of the. I don't remember if they banned anything. And I'm just looking at a big list, so I'm not going to find it very quickly. But yeah, that's the meta right now so far this year. It's Draco Tail Yummy, and we're gonna see how far that goes. Um, Decks that are not Draco Tail Yummy, and this is I think where we are because I'm a right now I'm playing Malice, which is tier 2. But that's because I was playing a lot of Pure Millennium, which is definitely not tier 2 or 3 anymore. Big sad, and you are a Pearly Mimikwool player, if that is
Oh yeah.
correct. So current like what are the tier what are like the current like non like high tier decks right now? We're gonna go back to the thing, which we got what Mitsu Orcus, Yummy Mimikwool. Oh, actually, Yummy Mimikwool is up there if that makes you feel any better. Um, No, that's fair. Things that have kind of came out and had a little bit of play, but not really stuck very much. Orcus to Lunalight. Odeon, and then you've also got kind of some more enduring ones, Labyrinth, some newer ones that are still kind of okay, Sulfur Archmage. That's kind of where we are now. How do you feel about these decks versus some of the like tier like 3 through 5 decks from 6 months ago when Malice Ryziel was really good? Those being like Fiendsmith, those being Millennium, my beloved Millennium. What else did we have? Blue Eyes. Um,
It's the fact that other person running Odeon is just running the worst trap card, stun cards they can fit into the deck, and that's all they're doing. And
well,
I'm sick of
that's well,
it.
that's my problem with Labyrinth is that Labyrinth is doing exactly that, but occasionally able
The
to activate
difference,
turn ending traps on turn 0.
uh, I mean, first of all, they're running Labyrinth Engine in Odeon sometimes, so
Really,
yeah. I mean, it's traps. It's just a trap
I
deck.
I haven't seen that
Second of
personally.
all, um, sure, it can. We've been over this. Like the turn zero labyrinth play is occasionally a game ender because you occasionally draw the I think one of Butler and one of and one and like three of Dimensional Barrier, which is annoying as hell. Does not happen that often. Shouldn't happen. Should just ban Dimensional Barrier, but that's not an issue with Labyrinth. The issue with Odeon is that you can, off of most of the Odeon cards, get like 3 points of trap interactions, and then you still have like the Labyrinth engine to get another 3 trap interactions, or are running Dominus traps, which you just keep in your hand, and then you still have like 5 back row off of the uh, all of the Anubis sets. And apparently, you can just run whatever engine really. I dueled somebody running Primite Odeon, which got a Baron on board on top of everything, which wasn't a big deal. Like I think I won that duel because I'll be honest, that was a real bad combination in my opinion. That one. But like, it's um like I just love the Odeon cards on their own, but like it is just unfortunate that yeah, if you're running a deck that's primary goal is to set a bunch of traps, you're just gonna uh play all the annoying trap cards that you can run and set them all and call it a day.
I think my take on this is going to be that the decks, the variety of those like tier 3 through 5 decks from 6 months ago were, I think those decks were more annoying because you're talking about like Fiendsmith, which everyone got tired of immediately for some reason, and like Blue Eyes
I
Primite
could
and
duel Fiendsmith.
stuff like that. Yeah, like I think Fiendsmith is fine. Like I don't like it's certainly annoying and it's certainly like wow, okay, if you can invest 3 hand traps into it and not stop it, but you could also not invest 3 hand traps in it and then have the 3 hand traps for everything else. Um that's my thing. I do think the decks that were available 6 months ago were more fun to play, but I will say, looking at some of these trending ones on the list here, Sulfur Warrior Combo, Lab, Onomats, Branded, Orcust, Lunalite. I do think that the variety is a little cooler. Like it's cooler that there's a somewhat wider variety of decks for people to play that are
Yeah.
not kind of like yeah, oh, I'm not gonna get past Diamond with this. So that's well, I don't know if
Oops,
you have
oops,
anything
oops.
to add to that.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't think, again, I don't, oops. Yeah, that's a shame. Like, that's the thing. Like, I think that the variety is nice. And I don't think it's bad. I just think it's unfortunate that probably the most of the side decks that we're going to see are going to be the world's most annoying side decks, which is again just kind of Odeon Trap Stun and probably Lunalite Towers Turbo plus Special Summon Board Wipe. Which are both decks. Again, it's really unfortunate because I love both of these decks in theory, but in practice they are just a little bit annoying when they are probably the second most common you're gonna see on the ladder right now. Um, I wish I was fighting Orcust. I haven't fought Orcust like once ever.
It's yeah, Orcust is like Bestial or DD Crow or whatever, Harpor, or you probably lose the game. That's it's I'm fine with Orcust, but really just because their weak point is like, yeah, okay, there it is. Um,
Oh no,
it's
they can
so
definitely
annoying to
play
fight
through that
against
now.
once they get their field spell set up.
Oh yeah, once they get the field spell set up, that's a different story.
Um, but talking about this stuff, I do want to look ahead a little bit as well. We talked since we talked about Draco Yummy Canine. Um, we will, whether it's this next month, a month afterwards, or whenever it is, we will have Vanquish Soul Canine, Draco Tail, Yummy Mitsurugi as like the top three decks, mirroring what's currently in the TCG. And in the TCG, unless you're playing some sort of dedicated like stun strategy or like I don't know some very specific counter meta pick, it's those three decks running rampant and giving that really cool interplay of it's not just one. It's not just a mono meta. It's not just two. It's there's a cool interplay of these three decks. But I think that the fact that they allow for turn zero plays means that decks that are a little bit older and not capable of putting together these turn zero plays are just going to be noticeably weaker and more difficult to play against these more modern decks. Do you see this or this new influx of turn zero decks making the playing experience better or worse on the whole because of that?
Um, I mean,
Or
it's
or
hard to
neither.
say. Like, I mean, it's impossible to say because it's like the answer is it depends on what you're playing. If you're playing the meta decks, it's going to be interesting and fun. But if you're not, then it's going to be annoying that not only do you have to worry about the when you lose the coin flip and the opponent goes first and sets up an invincible 10,000 negate board, but now you also have to worry about when you win the coin toss, go first and are fighting against something that can uh, interact on your first turn, even without hand traps. Um, but it'll be interesting in theory, at least. Again, I don't actually know how K9 interacts turn zero, so it's a little hard for me to say. K9 is again the blind spot here for me. Um,
Well, I was
like again, in theory, like I think it'll be real good for anyone actually running the meta, but it's gonna probably just be annoying if you're running anything kind of off meta for a while, at least when you actually run into these decks, because the turn zero plays admittedly are um it'll vary a little bit because like again Draco Tail turn zero plays are super inconsistent. Some of them are probably uh game warping, game ending, some like depending on what you're fusion summoning, it can be anything between a single interaction that you don't care about compared to like, oh yeah, I have negated like two things and returned two other monsters to your hand and now your turn's over and you've used all of your resources and I still have all of my Draco Tail traps. Like Draco Tail is a weird one because it's very roulette how good it is. I think canines like go into an extra deck play turn zero, so they're probably going to be more consistent. But I think they're hypothetically lower power. Again, I probably depended on like what the I know they're like
oh,
rank fives, so let me see like what rank fives offhand you can like go into. I'm sure there's probably something in
well,
archetype,
I
but
know that there's obviously Paradise Smasher, which did already get banned, which is nice that we're not going to have to deal with that as like a game ender. Um, but there are turn zero plays with extra deck stuff. I mean, Artifact Durandal was another thing that I think already got taken care of. Um, they have a Ripper that they can go into for a quick effect negate. Um, I'm not overly
ooh,
familiar with the other stuff that they're able to really do turn one, but I don't think it's I don't know, I don't think it's game ending, but they certainly do have things that they can do. I guess Yummy doesn't really. Like Yummy's not fusion summoning turn zero.
yeah, they can't turn zero anything. They just
They're just
are the best ones to make use of Mitsurugi, so that's where their power
yeah.
comes in.
Do you think that if Malice was like unlimited that it would be as good as Yummy is in Master
It'd
Duel?
be as good as
because we're talking Red Ransom's back, main decks to 3, and I guess you could say sure put a
Uh,
lore to 3 too.
it's hard to say. I think technically it would probably be because it would also technically have access to things that it didn't in the TCG. Because I think in
Splash Mage, right? Splash Mage was banned in the TCG, but not in Master Duel.
no, Splash Mage was banned after Malice, I believe. I might be wrong. It's the Link decoder, the Link one
I,
is kind of the big thing.
that one, I just like I know it gives you an extra body, but I just can't think. There are other things that you can use. Like I am currently running Link. What is it? It's like Link Spooler or something like that. It's literally just a generic down pointing Cybers Link one.
Yeah, it's just a body and like a way to get something off the field, which matters sometimes for cybers. Like sometimes you want one of your guys in the grave because you can banish it from grave easier than field, I think, for instance.
Yeah, but there's already like 7 ways that you're running in that extra deck as a Link 1 or Link 2 to get stuff off the field. So I just like I don't know. Personally,
Yeah,
I
but
don't
this one extends is the
yeah,
thing.
that's true. Fair enough. No, I think that I think that the fact that we're getting this trio of decks, Yummy, Draco Tail, A9, I feel like that's going to represent a little bit of a delineation of like, yeah, these decks going forward are going to be the good decks that you have to play in order to get to a high rank in Master Duel. And if not, if you're not playing those decks, then yeah, you're going to run into them and you're going to be either playing people that are really bad at them, or somebody who hasn't played in a while and who's just gonna trounce you. I mean, and I think that it's really kind of the same thing as we've seen over and over again. Malice Rise, you'll come in and they're better than everything else. You play other things, but if you're playing against a good player, you're probably going to get rolled. But my thinking is that this is a point where they should make like a hard line and say we need to put more game modes in Master Duel, especially things that are like, hey, cutoffs, ultra modern advanced format with a much more limited selection of decks, versus maybe a more casual mode that is maybe some other decks. Because obviously, like Canine Vanquish Soul is going to be better than Blue Eyes Primite. It's also going to be better than Millennium, as an example of a deck that I play. It's going to be probably better than I don't know, Fiendsmith Onomat if that's what you're playing for some reason. Gishkis and Mermails, right? Like they're not going to be able to stand up to these other decks. And maybe this is just a thing that I've wanted anyways, but more variety in like the formats and being able to play something that's not just going to be all right. You know that based on your rank, your deck can do this, and it will lose to these decks. I think that is maybe less fun. So I would say that it's a good starting point for let's get more formats in here.
That's I hate to be the cynical one on this, but that's been the case for about a year worth of formats. This is not going to be the start of that. I'd love it if it was because it would be very nice to have anything else as a format consistently here, but like Malice was dominant to an insane degree for a while. That didn't do it. The White Forest stuff was dominant for a while, weirdly for an annoying amount of time. Like White Forest Azamina was dominant for a while. Fiendsmith everybody hated, but and was kind of dominant for a while. I don't want to be cynical about it, but like that at the it's not going to be the format that does it. It's gonna be like playership actively dropping off because like they would like there has to be an active drop off, and I don't think that this would be the thing to do it because I think anybody actually playing the metas is probably going to actually kind of enjoy it, at least in theory.
Well, I think
And
it'll,
the casual players are kind of in have been again in hell for the last year in regards to ladder climbs, so they're either they've already anybody that was gonna stop has already stopped by now. It would not be this is not going to be the format that changes whether somebody stops playing Yu-Gi-Oh or not. I don't think. Admittedly, the turn zero plays are a pretty big thing. It could cause a bigger drop off than other things, but like there's a whole issue with getting Genesis in Master Duel. I've realized.
Yeah, the Genesis getting Genesis in would be genuinely amazing for the game. But the
God,
fact that
yes.
it's a Konami North America led thing and Master Duel is a Konami Japan led thing, definitely does throw a spanner into the works.
Well, the biggest issue is that basically, since it's a completely different card list than either OCG or TCG, it very specifically would basically have to have a third
Ban list?
point list, kind of. Yeah, not a third, a second point list. Like, because obviously, like with points, the points, like it doesn't matter in like, because the meta would require slightly different point balances, especially because it's going to be balanced around best of one and not best of three, so certain cards are not going to be as important to point as they would be. So you do have another whole point list within Master Duel, even if you catch up to the TCG ban list. Like, the fact that it's best of one actively changes the point math, I think.
Yeah, no side deck certainly does change it, but certainly it would be a welcome addition to the game. And
Yeah,
you mentioned other things, and I think other things that kind of turn people off is the hand trap, just sort of the way that the hand traps work into this meta, which is something I want to go into here after we take a quick break. So that's okay with you.
I'm in the bathroom.
All
Be
right.
back.
We're going to take a quick break. Thank you for hanging out and tuning in. We'll see you guys in just a few seconds. Do-do-do. Do-do-do. I might as well just go ahead and change that up. No. Wait, that's awesome. Exodia with an average of just under 6,000 battle damage. Let's go. Interesting. This is so interesting. So most of the time, Terahertz is getting 5,500 off. Some of the time, it's getting 8,000 off, but not as much. Usually, this
I'm
guy's hanging
back.
around. Welcome back, Zico. Just as a side note, can you say something?
I'm saying something.
Gotcha. I think your captions are not. Oh, never mind. There they go.
Yeah, I probably just have to
Jiggle the thing.
like go over to the tab every now and then, basically.
Yeah. I don't know if you've been changing your like sign or anything like that as we've been going, but
Not too much right now.
I guess I'm just not saying enough hot takes. So, but maybe we can start with hot takes because, well, we'll get into that. I was just gonna say I didn't realize that there was an average battle damage segment on Master Duel Meta, where you can see how much battle damage cards are doing, and I know, right? Well, it's interesting because it's like Unstoppable Exodia Incarnate. Apparently, the average battle damage it inflicts has gone down from 55.99 to 55.56, which is a little strange, but it's like, oh, okay. People are able to get to the 6K attack slightly less. I don't know. What is it? Access Code Talker is dealing. Well, I think it's interesting to see these stats because they kind of just say, all right, how often are people getting to the maximum impact, right? Hearts Cryptor is dealing on average 3,500 damage, which is like interesting. Like 30% of the time, people are using it to attack with like the full 5,000. Actually, maybe that's not true. Maybe that's just the amount of damage it inflicts. Yeah, this is a very strange list that I think is basically just comprised of cards that modulate their attack in some way. Early is not on here. Yeah, no, it's not on here. I am. I have done that. Yeah. Nope, it is this is a list of what is this? 12 cards? Yeah, I guess so. Um Meanwhile, finisher rank early is also not on here. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's Arthalion, Arthalion, and then Heart Scriptor, and then Gulamel, and Murakumo, then like yeah, no.
Halving your opponent's attack 5 times, so its average battle damage is going to
Like
frequently starts at like 300.
there you go. No, so we can talk about hand traps. Let's talk about hand traps because Max C in the February 5th update that is going out next week is going from 2 to 1.
Yeah.
And they have already put called by and crossout designator to 1 both, I believe. So we are almost done with Max C. How do you feel about that?
I've never cared about Max C being in Master Duel too much. I won't miss it when it's gone, but it's never really been a pain in my side. Like, again, partially just due to what I play. I play, Pearly Mimigul. You can, uh, if you get Max Seed, most people shotgun that instead of holding on to it for some reason, which is insane to me. Um, uh, like,
Good players hold Max C. Yeah.
yeah,
I think
I mean,
that's
I know why. It's because it turns on the like triple tax and stuff. But like, also if your opponent is gonna like, depending on your hand, it's hand dependent. Obviously, if you have a bad hand, you kind of want to get some draws, so you have to go at least get them into a draw. But if you're, especially in metas like right now with Odeon, like you're gonna fight a trap deck that doesn't summon a single thing on its turn every fourth duel or so. So shotgunning it right now is not a very smart thing because they could just, if you shotgun it, you might just run into set 5 end turn.
Yep. I mean, here's my question: is are you when they finally ban Max C, are you going to miss running 3 Ash Blossom in every deck you run?
Well, I'm not running 3 Ash Blossom in every deck I run.
This
And I
makes you
probably still will be running 3 Ash Blossom because Habakiri is still legal and ashing Habakiri is still mission critical. So the Maxi minigame is now, am I dueling Habakiri and do I have Ash for Habakiri?
I
So the Maxi minigame has never been a thing for me. It's the Habakiri minigame, baby.
interesting. Do you think that Called by the Grave and Crossout are going to drop off once Max C goes to Grave, or do you
Called
think
by is never going to drop off. Called by is one of the most powerful cards in current meta. Like it doesn't immediately threaten Yummy, but it is a way to interrupt Yummy that doesn't have like the quick play in, or has already activated the quick play, for instance, because you can hit the Lincoln Grave, because even if they special summon a second one, then like the effect is turned off for the quick synchro. You can hit a hand the I guess we're not going to have any monster hand traps that anybody cares about right now because of stupid Dominus traps, which are my least favorite thing in the world.
it's interesting that
Um,
you have made so much of an emphasis on the Dominus traps, and I don't see decks that are running Impulse, let alone Purge. Obviously when Malice was like the best thing to be playing, you would face 3 impulses, every other game, but I haven't seen it out of very many Draco Tales. Haven't seen it out of very many yummies, and then even the trap decks aren't, unless it's
The
like
trap decks are still running them. Like obviously not all of them because a lot of them are some of the Odeon decks are running other engines, but like Odeon is literally Odeon is the effects are still trap effects. You can run both Dominus in an Odeon deck and you're generally not turning off anything. Like at least in theory, I think like some of them the effects have to resolve as traps as monsters rather than traps. Like I think you turn off a statue pattern if you run whichever turns off Earth. But like you're also running like a bunch of other things. It doesn't really matter that much.
you know
In
it's interesting that I do still think it's interesting you're seeing this because I'm looking at the Master Duel meta um, popularity breakdowns, and Odeon is actually fourth at 5%. Labyrinth I don't see on here at all, but I'm looking at the oh, never mind. I'm seeing it. Dominus Impulse is at 3 at 18% in that deck. So I was thinking, well, not very much. Songs of the Dominators are 9, but you're right. Dominus Purge at 3 and 64% of decks.
yeah,
But Purge is just like an extra, like a slightly more powerful Ash, right? So
yeah, it's one you can't Ash Blossom, so it's completely uninteractable as a start for starting plays. It called by at least can interact with Ash, which is something, even if it's at 1 and you're never going to see it realistically. Although then Crossout, but which does like Crossout is not as good against the Dominus traps because not every deck is running the Dominus traps. That's actually part of the issue with the Dominus traps. It only matters if you're on a deck that happens to be the same like mirror. My issue with Dominus traps are not current per se also. Like I just think they're poorly designed in general. Like two of the best 3 decks that we're about to go into let me actually see what Dominus traps turn off real quick. I don't remember what the
Purge
element
Purge turns
combinations
off
are.
Dark Water and Fire. Impulse turns off Light, Earth, and Wind. So you
Okay, yeah. So like 2 of the 3 best decks are not gonna be able to run either Dominus trap. I don't know if Yummy can. I don't think it wants to anyway. I guess it won't because you're going to be running Habakiri, so which is I think dark.
dark,
So I
yeah.
guess none of the main 3 decks are going to be able to run Dominus right now. So I don't. It's not going to be a problem because nothing can run it. You can't run it in K9 Vanquish Soul because Vanquish Soul mixes the 2 elements. Can't run it in Yummy because assumedly you're running Dark and Light in Yummy, and you can't run it in Draco Tail because Draco Tail is all at all attributes, just like Pearly is.
I
So like,
I will say that I personally think that the Dominus traps are well designed because they have so much of an impact on what you can play. And for the most part, we have issues with cards that are like Allure of Darkness, right? You have to be playing dark monsters to play Allure of Darkness. And if you asked like a Magic player, they'd be like, "Well, there you go. That's your reward for playing mono dark." Or like, of course, if you're playing a mono dark deck, like like yeah,
your reward is that you're already playing a mono dark deck.
yeah,
The thing is,
exactly.
that is the problem, though. That is the problem because Yu-Gi-Oh! Obviously, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is unfortunately balanced around its hand traps. Yu-Gi-Oh! Uses hand traps as a patch-all to good game design, unfortunately. It's not that hand traps are good or bad, it's that rather than making interesting decks, decks are balanced by if they lose to certain hand traps that everybody is running, which is bad game design. The thing with that is that because obviously that's the bigger issue with Yu-Gi-Oh. So like in theory, these Dominus hand traps would fall under what you're saying, but the issue is that Yu-Gi-Oh can just make any given attribute good on its own, and then as a bonus, it gets to run these really good hand traps. Like obviously that can make a deck better, but usually it's not the make or break between whether the deck is good or not. It's just whether the deck is good plus has an interruption out of engine or whether it's just good.
Right.
Like it's like just annoying that certain decks randomly get to run a better version of a hand trap that everybody already is probably going to get to run. Like everybody has access to Ash. It's just that this is better than Ash. So if they happen to make an archetype that doesn't use certain elements, then it gets to run better Ash for just because Konami said so.
I
It's
mean,
not like a reward for running an interesting. Well, I guess
yeah.
that is kind of part of it. It's like, I guess if you don't mix archetypes in a weird way, that then maybe you don't get to run like maybe you could run Yummy and whichever hand trap doesn't turn off, and the hand trap that turns off Dark if you're running just pure Yummy, or Yummy plus something other than Habakiri. But it's like your Habakiri's better. Habakiri's
Yeah.
better than the hand traps. It's like, it's not like the design breaks anything. I just think it's a. I think like the element, like I like the element patch out in theory, but just due to how Yu-Gi-Oh is designed, it doesn't really do all that much, especially when there's like just slightly worse versions of at least Impulse. I think Impulse, which
Well, I think Purge, right? Because the Ash, but I think
Purge
you
is the Ash one.
yeah, Purge is the Ash. I think you bring up a really good point, which is that Purge is like the Dominus trap cards are amazingly designed for a card like for a game that relies on hand traps as being one half of the game. Um and I think that you have a great point that that's not fantastic game design because it does limit the creativity of what you can do and the variety of the stuff that's in the game. But a for a game in which, you know, for any given deck, half of your deck is going to be hand traps. Um, I think it is really cool because not being able to use like Dominus. I think the reason that Odeon is interesting is that it is an Earth deck that doesn't have to worry about Bestials. Can run Dominus Purge as like a card that like nobody else is running. Like I so rarely see it, and I mean I guess it does hurt to get hit by it from Odeon, but Odeon also isn't top tier. It can just do that. But that also means like right, that means like no Bestials, no Fiendsmith package, no any other dark, and I guess no Ash, no dark hand traps, whatever those may be. Um, for a system for a game that is like reliant on having like thorough and varied non-engine, that does put an interesting restriction on it for what it does. Um, on the whole, though, I think that I can agree that um, they
Yeah,
do miss the
see,
mark a little bit with with those restrictions because you're right, for some of the decks that can run it do get to just run it. And it's not that it breaks anything, it's just that it doesn't necessarily make things more interesting.
yeah, see, that's the issue. My the issue is with the phrase "for a game that requires you to run varied and interesting hand traps non-engine for half of your deck." Every part of that sentence is bad game design to me, and also half untrue. Because most of the time, it's not very thorough, or it's not very diverse or interesting. The hand traps non-engine that you're running, it's catered to the meta in a very specific way. There's very little there's usually little thought actually put into it in modern Yu-Gi-Oh. I've found that there's not zero, and I don't want to downplay the value of hand traps. It's just that when the generic hand traps exist in the way that they do, people will run specifically the free agents that whatever is best matched to the meta, like
Girl.
whatever's best matched to the meta. And then if they can run the Dominus, they will run the Dominus because the Dominus are just better versions of certain one. It's like, it's a very if then chart. There's not thought put into it. It's just a, you run what's best for the meta plus what you're allowed to run from the Dominus if you can run the Dominus. And then it's like, the fact that it's like, I think the fact that you have to run like half of your deck as non-engine hand traps is also just bad design in general, just due to how it's treated, again, because it's treated as just such a patch on to actually making decks that are balanced around each other. They're just balanced around the fact that hand traps can stop it, which
Right.
is again part of why I actually do like leading into this turn zero meta. I like that like Canine are their own hand traps. I like that Draco Tail can set up boards before your opponent has a chance to interrupt them. Those are interesting ways to take the meta. I like that Yummy can dodge interactions without the hand traps. It doesn't like they are their own. They work at a quick speed, so you don't have to like play you still obviously have to dodge things, but like in like I know I'm probably the only person still running imperm, but like you can if you've set up a board, your opponent that's not how that works really. There's not a situation where you're like dodging imperms most of the time with Yummy, but like it's neat that actually there's the better example, the fact that you can use like the quick play to like dodge a called by,
Mhm.
or if you're or summon the guy to dodge a called by. Obviously you're usually only dodging the called bys via if you're like in that situation, usually it's only because you've been forced in, you're using the called by to like force a play out of the Yummy player. But like that's more interesting to me. It's interesting when it's like in archetype and then there's like a small non-engine package. Like I think it'll be interesting to see. I think that like this meta actually will probably be better on the hand trap side, because you can just run a bunch of like main engine that actually does things on your opponent's turn. So then you actually have to think about like maybe like, do I run non-engine that maybe I want to run some like going second non-engine in like K9 versus Vanquish Soul, rather than like going first engine, because my main deck is my going first, or is my turn zero, is my hand trap engine. Like maybe I will get to run. I'm sure like the list. I'm pipe dreaming. I'm sure like K9 Yummy or K9 K9 Vanquish Soul does not get to run like Raigeki um, Feather Duster, because it still actually has to run hand traps. Not gonna stop me though. I'm running Raigeki. I'm running Feather Duster. I'm running Raigeki because it's actually kind of decent against some Yummy boards.
Well, I mean, in a turn, in not in a turn three, in a best of three format. Yeah, I mean, I think Yummy. I mean, I think any deck is going to be running these like blowout going second cards in their side deck, for sure. Like, if you can, then like, if you know you're going second, then like, yeah, it's probably better to have a couple Raigekis than like an extra Ash or something. Um, I think that I do kind of like hand traps and appreciate the way that they are now. The reason that I had so much fun playing Malice was because you could just slot in more than like three nib, three droll, three ash, and then like the max C package, right? You were throwing in Dominus Impulse, you were throwing in nib, sure, you're also throwing in like Bestials, you're throwing in Metal Tronuses and what's the other one? Super Polys and stuff like that. Like you like there's a lot of like stuff that you can throw in that's like, okay, cool. Now it's like you kind of don't know what you're gonna get every single time. Like imperms to turn on the impulses, right? Which kind of was a fun feeling. It was really fun feeling like every single duel, even if I went second, I would be playing Yu-Gi-Oh. And I think that yeah, I think that you're right that a game that was not designed around hand traps and had them as a supplementary thing would be interesting and potentially it would be potentially much more interactive. But I mean, if right now you just took away all hand traps and said nobody gets any hand traps, I don't think you'd have
Which is
more.
not at all what I'm saying,
Right now,
to
and
be
it's not. I
clear.
know it's not what you're saying. It's just, if I'm thinking
Yeah.
like, what if that happened? It wouldn't be okay. People would play their going first decks, play their decks going first, build up a big board, and then people going second would play their combos, and then like counteract that. It would be like, okay, whoever whoever goes first wins, um, and that's not like fun and compelling, right? So you want to limit. Unfortunately, the good cards now don't have enough restrictions that you could just let them run wild without any interruptions and be fine. So um, I agree that it's better and less interesting, unfortunately, to be like, yeah, the Max C package and then three Fua, three Ash, three Droll, two Nib, and then like there you go. That does get a little bit stale, but I do think that the Dominus cards, because of their restrictions, do make it interesting to have to work around not being able to play Dominus Purge means you can't play Ash. I know it's just a replacement for Ash, and that is not great in and of itself, but if they
Correct.
printed other Dominus cards with like a little bit with effects that were maybe a bit different that didn't just overlap with another card. Because
Yeah, they get worse. I'm pretty
yeah,
sure they get worse. What are the new ones? Let me look up the new ones.
yeah, there are some. Yeah, those ones are interesting.
Oh my god, are we gonna get one of the new ones? Oh,
Here,
please.
you know what I do? Here's what I do really like, and the ghost bell. The ghost bell is something that I have learned about recently. As I didn't realize for the longest time that ghost bell countered called by and cross out, and
Yeah,
that's really funny. And the fact that it can counterplay the quick play spell cards that
yeah,
people
that's not.
hate so much is really awesome. And if your deck was full of these hand traps that were like counter the thing that just happened, then I mean obviously they are right, but I love Ghost Bell and Called by being kind of like two really like two really cool things. Um, Obviously Maxi going to 0 means that it's going to be like everyone's playing 3 Fua and then maybe like one or two of the others, and then all the other ones. I guess it won't really. It doesn't feel like it'll make that much of an impact, but um, yeah, I don't know. I do kind of like hand traps. I think maybe a little bit more
Yeah,
than you.
I like hand traps. I just think that they're too much of a band-aid. I don't like that a deck is like a deck. I don't like that we are in a position where a deck is bad just because it loses to uh because it's like ash bait, right? Like because if you don't draw the ash and then the deck it, I don't like that we're in a position where decks can just like I don't like we're in a position where we're expected to run hand traps because if we don't, or if we just don't draw them, decks will produce boards that are basically impossible to play through,
Yeah, there aren't enough.
which
I don't think there's
certain decks can do.
well, there's no well, you can Dark Ruler, you can Raigeki, you can Forbidden Droplet. I think.
Yeah.
Do you think it would be better if they printed more cards that were these like going second board breaker cards that were a little bit more powerful and a little bit more maybe a little bit more flexible in the same vein as all of the hand traps that they've been producing? Or do you think that that's kind of we've kind of reached the limit on what we can do? Because Super
I
Poly,
think
Forbidden
Dark Ruler
Droplet,
No More is kind of the limit. Like I like Dark Ruler No More as one of these cards in theory, but the issue is that what Dark Ruler No More does is just let you do the same thing. It just turns off your opponent's board, then lets you make the same board on your own turn. Obviously, that's not what it does because there's a lot more spell trap interactions in modern meta, which is kind of nice for both. And obviously, also like I think specifically like these decks, like Draco Tail doesn't care about it because Draco Tail's mostly about its back row and its quick play, it's fusioning from hand, like so
yeah.
I like and I like that actually. I like that Draco Tail doesn't produces boards that specifically don't care about Dark Ruler, while something like Yummy does care a little bit more about Dark Ruler. It doesn't. I think you can still play through Dark Ruler with Yummy with a lot of boards, especially Mitsurugi. I think does not care about Dark Ruler all that much. I could be wrong there, but I think a lot of like the back row and stuff. If nothing else, I think Mitsurugi just has a trap that can negate Dark Ruler, so you have to do something before you can. You have to bait that out before you can Dark Ruler at the very least, and that's a whole issue there. So I guess like I like Dark Ruler. Unfortunately, I think it's a very interesting. I think it's an interesting thing in the modern meta, for instance. I think that it's potentially even fact. I think it's unfortunate that something that I would say Dark Ruler is the limit, and I think Dark Ruler has now been power crept, which is a hilarious thing in retrospect, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, the fact that it doesn't like the fact that you can do so many graveyard plays that aren't affected by Dark Ruler, meaning that its utility is just a little too limited is unfortunate. I am with you in
Man,
the general sense that like I'm looking at some traps here and like imperm super poly like what else
to be
uh
clear, Super
called
Poly
by
is a going second board breaker, by the way. You were just like
Well, it's a perfectly valid going first card because you can just set it and then have a really crazy strong interruption. Obviously, a more vulnerable one, say somebody
Yeah.
MSTs it right away. Um, that wouldn't be the best, but you probably also wouldn't use your spell trap Omni Negate on it. So but it's flexible. Like the quick play spell card, the trap card, hand trap, maybe not the dominuses, but like imperm. I like imperm called by super poly. These are like the really fun types of interactions that I like personally think are the most fun to use. The three Ash, the three Fua, your retaliating C, D shifter, they're less fun to just throw out, and it's like, all right, well,
Super Poly is such a funny one to say. I'm not like fully disagreed, but God, Super Poly is like one of the most hated cards because it literally is the only uninteractable. Like,
yeah, but
it's
you
not the only uninteractable removal. There's plenty of ways to half interact with it, and it's not the only one either. Obviously, that's the kaiju's, but
I think there should be more. There should be more super poly targets that are specifically in there to clog up your extra deck because it. I will admit that if you're playing Draco Tail and you have super poly because like half the time you're going to be going up against other Draco Tails and you can just like Secretarion Dragon on your turn with their stuff, then like for them it's like feels bad. Not that they usually have the opportunity, not that even you usually have the opportunity to do that against Draco Tail, but
yeah,
but
because
if
again,
you're
their
like
board is not actually their
yeah,
board
very
most of the time.
very large. But if you had like, if you're playing like a rogue deck, if you're playing, uh, you know, like I said, Gishkis for some reason, and you're like, yeah, let me run Super Poly. It does require me to put in Radiant Bussy, the 5 rainbow god of love,
What?
as like a board wipe, Super Poly target. Then like, yeah, I think that would make Super Poly even more interesting.
I mean, it has. I don't think we need more super poly targets. Like we have there's two really generic super poly targets,
Yeah,
and
they're
they
not that they're not
collectively
that
cover
good
most
though.
use
And
cases.
they're not that good
Uh,
though. I mean, they're
they shouldn't
okay,
be
but
that good. They should like I guess like in there is a argument for allowing super poly to be this thing where you get an actual interaction out of it for a going second tool, but then it becomes a way more powerful going first interruption where you just get even less ways to play on your turn. Like the super poly is a very interesting going second tool in my opinion. Going first, it is a one of the most annoying things to just it's like one of those max C win more things. Like you've already gone first, you already have a crazy board,
yeah.
and you have also now drawn into an uninteractable interruption that clears probably 2 cards off my field. If you then get to get another interaction off of that, then I'm just out of the game no matter what, right? Like
But it's
you've
also
cleared
a
2 guys
brick
off
going
my board.
first. It's also a brick going first. So yeah, that factors in. That has to
It's
factor
a
in a
brick
little
going
bit.
first, but I don't think it does because like
Because if you get stuck, if you have Super Poly as the 5th card in your hand, and you don't have the juice to get through your opponent's interactions, and then you set it with like one card that you're like, oh, I could use this, but it won't really get me anywhere, so I'll use Super Poly and I'm out of cards. It's like, uh, that's yeah,
that would be true of any hand trap. That's true of any hand trap. This is one that has bigger implications than a hand trap, in my opinion. Admitted, I do see what you're saying, and especially with interruptions, like you might not even end with a card in hand to discard for a super poly. Um, but again, it's one of these like you also might get your max C ashed.
yeah,
It's like in theory, yes, but again, admittedly, part of this comes from somebody who is running a deck with very few hand traps. I'm going to be honest, but like sometimes you or your opponent are not going to draw a single hand trap, and if that happens, the game is over most of the time. Like I think Konami should be more. There should be more decks that just can produce that can play through hand traps or play through established boards. That is what I would be most interested in for a meta going forward, other than like turn zero plays. I think like something that is resilient to playing through established boards. It might not produce the most powerful board, but it can actually play through like an established board, like maybe like your engine spells don't do a lot, but they can't be like negated for some by monster effects, for instance. I think that would be an interesting thing. Like, it's unfortunate that like that's a bad example because it's like not interactive. It's like you can just activate this spell. It's like part of the issue with super poly that I'm just talking about. But like something like if it gets negated, maybe you get another search anyway, for instance. Like that's a rulings nightmare, but like I
Well,
think that there's something to like.
as long as the activation doesn't get negated, right? There you go. Well, I think
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think in this case, it sounds like you'll probably have more fun with the upcoming tri meta because there is
Yeah, I'm
more
like
like.
super excited to try K9 Vanquish Soul. I think it's gonna legitimately be a super fun deck for me.
Well, unfortunately, I'm not going to be trying K9 Vanquish Soul because I don't have the gems for it. Because, goddamn, that's a lot of URs that I'm not going to be able to afford. Because I've already gone broke trying to pull Yummy, pull Draco Tail, and really getting shafted on both of them. Which leads us to a very important topic, more so even than this hand trap stuff. Master Duel collectibles. Are any of them worth it?
Yeah,
Are any
I
of
mean, I literally actually just was having this conversation with Rai. That's like, I'm sorry to put you on blast. That's the most YouTube thumbnail bait question in the world, because the fundamental statement, I hate to say it, the literal only answer you can reasonably give to any question that is, are cosmetics worth it in a video game, is, do you want them? And if the answer is no, then no, it's not worth it. If the answer is yes, then yes, it is probably worth it. Obviously, there is a question of pricing within that is a difference, like, like maybe like maybe a, like, I'm trying to like actually go into like our what Master Duels is, because obviously I was talking about
Master
this with a different game with
Master
Rye.
Duel. If you want to look at the collector files, Master Duel has, and I'm gonna send this to you in DMs, not for you to like look at necessarily, just for like me to have for later. There's Orcus collector bundle. There's one for Dragon
Oh,
Maid.
do you mean like the collector files specifically?
Well, collector files are probably the big one because they're really associated with the big bundles that cost like 2 to 3 thousand gems. There's also like the I mean, to a lesser degree, there's like mates, there's playing fields, there's all the other little
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
things.
I mean, like, I don't think anybody cares about the collector files. I don't think anybody. I think everybody has collectively, exclusively made fun of the collector files. I've made fun of the collector files. Like, I don't think anybody cares about the collector files. They're kind of nothing.
Well, how about
I'm talking
this?
about like every other.
Well, I mean, sure, it's nice to have the option to like grab a thing. Um, what do you think about the fact that in the Makonko bundle, you are we're basically paying an extra 600 or 700 gems to get a guaranteed royal? Do you think that that's like something that we should like? I don't know that they should continue doing, or is that like a little bit? Is that a little bit? What's it called? Cringe?
I don't
Because
know. I think that it's exactly what I'm talking about. I think it depends on you. Like, it's 2,000 gems equals the 20 of the packs, which also, like, the Makonko bundle is a bad example because here you get 20 packs with 2 you are guaranteed in those 20 packs. So that's already like, we're talking about 1,000 gems for everything that's bonus. So like, but even just like the base packs is like above average for a standard 2,000 gems because you're guaranteed 2 URs from them. So it's 1,000 gems for a guaranteed UR the coin, the collector file, both of which are basically only exclusive to you and don't matter that much. So like the collector file, I'm counting as who cares. The coins I actually really like. I know only you get to see them, but I think they're a real cute thing to have. I don't think the majority of them I would never buy just to have them, but I think the coins are a cute little collectible. But like the cards, you get a card sleeve, you get your little um which is good. You get the loading screens, which again, that's like another one that only
Yeah,
you get to see.
the you get the case, the card backing, and the wallpaper, the
Yeah.
playing field,
So
the
like
mate,
the
the
Makonko
base.
bundle specifically probably is a little underpriced for what it is. Like it's 3 URs, which is nice, but realistically, the biggest things from it are the sleeves, the coin, and maybe the loading screens if you care about those. I think most people don't.
I'm
But
gonna
like if you like Makonkos, it probably is a pretty nice thing. The collector file is again like I think the collector files are dumb. I'll be blunt.
yeah, I mean,
I like them in theory. I don't think they should be a paid thing. Or at the very least, they should be like cheap or part of a bundle that is like way better than most of the bundles have been. Like I think the again, I think the Makonka one is probably a pretty fine bundle. It's a little overpriced, but again, 3 guaranteed URs, the one of which is like any card in the game. Like it's probably overpriced, but like going back to my initial point, it's it's who the question of whether the cosmetics are worth it is up to any individual person, and usually based on what their favorite archetypes are. I guess my biggest point there is I do think that the wallpapers are probably overpriced at 250. So like,
I thought they were like 100. No, I
no,
might
they're
be.
250, which
No,
is unfortunate.
that's fair. I'm gonna put a dissenting opinion here. I think the coins suck. Like I
Yeah, no,
don't think any of the coins are like good. Um,
oh yeah, that's
the
exactly what I'm talking about. Like we disagree. They're not worth it to you. I think 150 the base price apparently is a little overpriced. I would just make them 100. But I think like if they were 100, I would
be
probably get the winged Karibo one for 100 gems.
I don't think I would. I like there's
Yeah,
just
that's fair.
I do
Nobody
agree.
gets to see them.
I mean, it's not even that. Like, if you gave me access to all of them and said, "Here, pick one," I'd probably just say, "I don't know. I guess the base one." I don't know. I think that's like I would still probably just choose that. On one hand, it is really annoying that the labyrinth coin is silver. So whenever you flip it, like you think that you've lost because it comes up silver every time. So I acknowledge that like part of it is like, well, you do want them to remain identifiable as whether you won or lost the coin toss from a glance. Um, but it's just different embossings. Like there's no like I can't even think of what would have to be
I
on a coin for me to be like, shit, I want to get this. Like the yummy snatchy one, like I don't like that doesn't like look that I mean, yeah, I'm gonna bring
I mean,
this
I
up
like it
on
more
the
than Blue Eyes White Dragon or like the Millennium Puzzle.
I just there
The Dragon Maid
it's
one
the
is kind of
same
neat. Like,
it's the same thing. Like this yummy snatchy one is like okay, it's like the round guy in there. And maybe I mean I know it's a coin, I know it is a small cosmetic, but like damn, like this is nothing to me. This is I feel like how that one Fortnite guy felt about all of the streams. Just- yeah. Well, I mean, I think here's what I think would make it worthwhile. I think if they made coins that had like cool animations and effects, then it would be worth it for me. If you flip the coin and it did something unique and it looked cool doing it, then I would be like, all right, now I'm on board. But this is the same problem that Master Dueler has with its mates, with its playing field. Not that its playing field are pretty good, but like Um,
The mates
they're
are great.
the
I'll check
the
out them.
mates suck. They all look like somebody made them in like Blender in like, in like 3 hours. Like, I don't know. And maybe you can just tell
What?
me it's like a stylistic thing, that like the fact that you can see all the vertices is like part of the charm, but it's like, this is
What are
Yu-Gi-Oh!
you
Like, the anime, you like, they even sometimes do like good animations. Like, there is so much cool factor that this game has to offer and that you can just do. Like, it's, give me like high res, like give me Fiendsmith Engraver, but like with like, anime lines, like the JoJo, like, those like JoJo cosplays where they like, people will like draw on like the excessive like cheekbones and shadows and whatnot, um, or like a Borderland style where like the shadows are kind of like drawn in. Like, I don't know, not even like that specifically, but give me like like an like a high fidelity, like put all, a ton of effort into these details, and not just like Galatea and her like arms are like made up of like five rectangles. That's, I
I
don't
don't
know.
know what you're talking about. It's because they're a small thing on your screen. They are full models. They're just like taking up a fraction of your screen. Like I'm looking at
No,
them
they
in
don't
the like
have like, they're resolute, like there's no detailing to them. They're so plain. And even like the good ones, it's like, there's no, I mean, there's a lack of detail to them, and there's a lack of smoothness to them in the designs. Like, not in the designs, just in like the execution. That it's like they look like they're missing like shaders. Um, I can't like, I can't get behind that. These things are, I don't know.
I don't think you're right. I just fundamentally do not think you're correct on this one.
Like, I'm looking at Dragon Maid here. Like, let's go back. I'm looking at Dragon Maid. Who's the Dragon Maid main? Is it Lorpar, or is it Laundry Dragon Maid? Yeah, like her hair is like one plastic piece. It looks like somebody put like a Lego headpiece on her, on the girl. Like, there's no like fur detail. It's all like just a big block. It's like someone made them out of clay, which is like, if that's a specific art style you're going for, sure, but like, it's not compelling. Like, here we go. Dark Magician's like shoulder pads are just like shiny and like uniform. There's no like detail on them. There's nothing that screams like, yeah. There's no cool writing. Well, I mean, but like, even like, okay, the pearly one is like probably like the best. And maybe it's because you've been looking at the pearly mate for your whole life, and that is like easily like the best mate. Hmm. Hmm. Let me look at the Fiendsmith Engraver mate, because like, I think that'll probably tell you what I mean. Well, either that, or I know I'm looking at still images, but like, you can see like the fucking, and I know that this is like a really like low res screenshot, but you can see the, where is it? Like, you can see like the pixelation of like the outside of like his like details, and that's like, you can see that like in the game too. Um, it No, but even when you look at them in like the preview, like, they're not, it's not because, oh, it's smaller. It's, and like, look at like this. Like, this Fiendsmith Requiem thing is actually like, this is actually pretty cool. But and it's not that I really don't want to just sit here and be like, yeah, Greeble is the most important thing ever. Um I mean, I guess it's just, I don't know, like this belt. I don't know. There's no wear on. There's no. It feels like there's not attention to detail in a way that shows like whoever made this really loved making it. Um, and I feel that for most of the mates. Now, maybe you're crazy. Maybe I think that everyone out there should agree with me. but I don't think that the mates are like. I think if I showed somebody from another game like a random like Yu-Gi-Oh mate, they'd be like, "This is really bad. Like you like this?" I Yeah, one of the coolest like aesthetics like ever. Like look at the fucking the Elemental Stratos hero card art. Yeah, but like look at the ab shading. Look at the detailing on these hands. Look at the lighting. Like this is I get it, right? Lighting is hard to do for 3D models, but like I mean, look at yeah, I think Lightheart's up there. Um Okay, well, I think the white aura is really funny. So I personally don't agree with that. But like here I'm going to put side by side. I'm going to put side by side the Elemental Hero Stratos mate and the Elemental Hero Stratos card art. I, fine. Fine. Okay, images. It's this one, right? Yeah, okay, it's here. Yes, I guess in fairness to the mates, they very faithfully represent the image that's on here. This on the left here, this Elemental Hero Stratos with the bulging muscles and the dynamic lighting and the cool background and everything else looks raw as hell. If I said I play Yu-Gi-Oh and they're like, "What's that?" and I showed them Elemental Hero Stratos, they'd be like, "Oh, cool. All right." If I said I play Yu-Gi-Oh and they're like, "What's that?" and I show them this guy, they'd be like, "Okay." Um, I get it. Modeling's not easy, but like they are so much more that they can do. Wait, yeah, look at this thing. Looks fucking red. Okay, even though this has the same issue of it being like weirdly low res, like, yeah, look at this thing. This thing is way better. Like, I mean, this thing looks way better than Stratos. Um, but like you just said, like it's hard to translate the lighting. Well, they did it. Like you can like the way that this jacket looks is like crazy good. Um, and like you can do 2D effects in a 3D model to make it look more 3D, which I mean they didn't do it the hair, which I think is a mistake, but I I I think that that's got to be it because like they're not like that low res. I'm playing at like 1440p or 1080p or whatever my monitor assembles. Like you can see it. Like you can see the pixelation on these models, which is like it's. But here's a question: why isn't there like a ton of like look again? Just looking at Sprite Blue, like this is like the way that the fabric, like the texture of like the coat is like, and the lighting of it. This is immaculate. If every mate kind of had like this level of like care put into it, it would be awesome. But instead, we get beach balls and like shiny Stratos. It's like this Stratos looks like he's made out of plastic here. Sprite Blue looks like it's made out of fabric here. It's an improvement, but it still shows like unch. I heavily disagree. Heavily disagree. It's one of like that's like saying you could say that about the fields, but they make the fields look really good. So like it's everything. The animations are generally very stiff and very limited. Um why why on earth would you try to keep it consistent when you have literally all of the cool, crazy, different kinds of card art that look it's let me I'm looking at the chaos blue max one. Let me go to the blue eyes white dragon one. Um but I think it looks lackluster probably. Blue eyes white dragon mate. Mate. Yeah, like yeah, I mean okay, so just looking at this like one random like this random screenshot which is not the highest quality you can possibly get, but like even then you have like it looks flat. Like it looks flat and not very detailed, and the details they put in are there to just be there rather than to like I'm looking at, I don't know if you can see on stream what I've got here, but this like the neck scaling or whatever, the patterning on like the neck, it's like, yeah, if you did that in a different way, it would ooh, you could almost like feel the difference of texture on like Blue Eyes' throat versus like the hard shell, I guess. Like I don't, the Blue Eyes dragon is a shelled creature. Blue Eyes White Dragon is a bug. I didn't realize that. Um, because I don't see. Well, I mean, you're well, let me ask you a question. Why does Scareclaw Lightheart have so much better armor than Elemental Hero Stratos? Well, yeah, Lightheart compared to Stratos. I mean, like the armor design on this is like, I say it's rendered. I feel like it's rendered much better than Stratos. Um, it does not feel like it's just a uniform carapace in the same way that Stratos looks like. Is that the newer ones are better? Yeah, I agree. I, I don't disagree. It's just like when you said most of them are fine and some of them are really good. To like I look at these and it's like most of these are lackluster and some of them are fine to good. Um, and I don't like there are very few that I would look at and be like, this is so fucking cool. I have to have this. Um, mhm. 250 you said? 300? Or are they 500? I don't know. I'll say this. I think you're right. They are getting better and a lot of the older ones 600, yeah, that makes sense. fair. I just wish that the mates didn't like by default just have PS2 graphics. That's all. But it is but it is what it is. Fair enough. Moving on from the collectibles discussion, because yeah, no, like we're definitely we're really getting like the highest echelon of Yu-Gi-Oh content here. Let's talk about, oh, you know what? I didn't put in one for we kind of discussed all formats. I was going to talk about Genesis, but let's move on to Yu-Gi-Oh.
We should do Genesis. We should duel some Genesis sometime. We should actually like force you to learn some TCG metas, and I guess me too. It's not like I don't know. I don't.
But I want to put.
Oh
I
my
want
god,
to push
are we gonna
Millennium
get
in.
Radiant Tornado in the next? We're probably gonna
Yeah.
get Radiant in the next pack, aren't we?
Well, I want to talk about something that is near and dear to our heart, to both of our hearts, which is the Yugi tubers. The age of
Sure.
Gage has ended. For those of you who are not familiar with the Yugi tubing scene, the Wonky Quartet are probably the big boys on the block when it comes to casual entertainment for Yugi tubing. And Gage Nim Nim the Fourth has retired as of what, like 2 weeks ago, like before this
Just from
filming.
Modern Yu-Gi-Oh, like a week or two ago.
Just for modern Yu-Gi. I mean, which I think is like, which is good. Like, Gage keep playing Genesis or Goat or Edison or whatever
It's
format.
gonna be Edison. He's gonna play Edison still, which is good for him.
Yeah,
I should
and then
play some Edison.
and keep doing the
we should
wonky.
play Edison.
Yeah, as soon as they put it on Master Duel, I'm right there.
We can literally just play it for free on Dueling Book. I know you'd have to actually learn how to.
I'd have to learn how to do
play the
Dueling
game.
Book, but no, Age of Gage is over. Master Saga episode 20 has ended with the Spud Buds getting absolutely just caved in. I mean, reactions to that season, that was hard to watch. I mean, it was really funny, but that was a hard season to watch.
It is unfortunate that it was like such a blowout, especially for a final season. But like, that. Man, it really is. I wish there was like some kind of. They should have just like, especially once like, okay, you know what? For that last episode, they should have just cheated. They should have just been like, we're gonna open 40 packs and just not tell them. Like not even like not like a full cheat. I don't think they should have been constructed, but they should have just opened 40 packs. They should have just opened 40 packs and been like, we've been losing the whole time. Nim Nim's leaving. Let's just kill them.
No, I would have just gone on main and then like crafted a deck and been like, yeah, no, this is totally our this is totally our deck.
No. It still has to be in the spirit. It's not funny if it's not in the spirit. Like, yeah, you can also not to put Doug and Gage on blast, but they would have to have a meta deck to be able to do that. I don't know if either of them are. Actually, no. Doug has hecking. We know Doug has the Metal Morph deck, so I guess he could have just rolled up with the Metal Morph deck. I don't know if Gage would have been in any way interested in doing that for the bit, though. But like, God, 40 packs. I'm telling you, just open 40 packs of like whatever secret pack you want.
I know that I haven't always made the best and most optimal decisions in our sealed format stuff at any point, but like, for the love of God, guys, going into Battling Boxer for the 7th time, like, what are we doing?
Well, they could only go into it twice.
No, but like in terms of
would
their
have
deck
to actually
choice.
look over what their packs were. I think most of the time they genuinely didn't have very good pack options, and like obviously I think there were a couple times they like were picking something that felt safer because it had like better NR and weren't trying to look high and didn't want to high roll. I know that happened a few times, and I think for the most part they did genuinely just get really bad pack
No, I
luck.
mean their pulls were the pull differential was insane. Like I don't think that I've ever, like, that was like hard to watch because it was MBT and Farfa just pulling like literally whatever they said they were going to try to pull like every time, and then Doug and Gage just getting like the dregs of the packs. But like at some level, the packs that they went into, they made some choices that they could have done. They could have done some other
fairly
things.
certain most of the time they just did not get the packs
Yeah, I mean, like,
to choose from.
I think
that
it was
would've
like
helped.
I think it was like 65-35 the polls versus the packs.
I would bet 80-20.
All right, I'll see you at 70-30. What do you have any like favorite Gage moments that like you want to shout out, or anything that
Yeah, I'm gonna put them on blast. This is one of my favorite videos. Please put it on the stream. I
Okay.
love this friggin' video.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and watch this together, I guess. All right. Okay. So
I'm
here,
gonna flip up. Then you flip summon.
I'm gonna use the
microcell, which is not an illegal play. While Thousand Eyes Restrict is on the field, you can't change a battle position.
Let me tell you, man.
What do you have to say about this egregious error?
You don't start winning games unless you take big risks. I said that Alex Sebo, that guy, he doesn't read cards. So I said, I'm gonna make this play, and he's not gonna think twice. And what did he do? Some might say that's a cheat. I consider it an outplay. So, take notes.
Sometimes.
so he just cheated because he knew that Simo wasn't going to read the card. I mean, what can you say? That's beast mode. That's beast mode.
Unfortunately, I don't remember too much because I feel like I think there were some good moments this season, but like I think some of his best were previous seasons, and I just haven't watched him in a while, so I don't remember like offhand some of the better Gage moments. I know he had some great ones, but like
No,
in Saga and like obviously in like other series I just can't remember because a lot of them were way older.
I do have a good one for you. I was recently watching
please.
some of the LVK reacts ones, and he reacted to the coin episode, the one where Farfa hit like 17 times in a row on the coin flip for
the famed
for the Origami Goddess. And yeah, I guess I'll put it up on screen just so people can kind of like look at the episode. And so this was the coin flip dice episode, right? So we were running like Origami Goddess, like MBT was running like the trap stall one. The psychic Farfa had Psychic Rover. Doug had I guess Doug had like Orgoth? I don't know. It was a lot of like really interesting and really cool decks. Anyways, Gage rolls up with Spiral Arcana Force FTK. And it's just, I mean, this was amazing to me because I think when I watched it the first time, I was just like, yeah, okay, it's like everyone's playing different decks and they're doing their thing, right? And it was Doug was playing a really cool coin toss based deck. Farfa was playing Psychic Rover Turbo, which is like an interesting and like never before, like you don't use that strategy ever. So this is the only place where it would come up. MBT was running like some of my like Ordeal of the Traveler, so I got to give him points. And then Gage was running the world. And I was just like, I'm like, holy shit. I didn't catch this the first time, but that is like, that's crazy. That's and I didn't like this was really before I had like a good grasp of like how like that Spiral was like a really, really good deck 10 years ago. And that in this format, just crafting the whole Spiral deck and throwing in the world stuff was just like, yeah, you can't beat that with a strategy that's designed to do coin tosses for a living. It probably is funnier to me now, just like thinking back on it, than it is you just seeing some like images on the screen. But yeah, the gap between Gage playing Spiral World FTK and the 13 heads roll might be the lowest valley and highest peak of any video in history. Yeah. Yeah. So good on our boy Nim. I don't know why I said our boy. I don't think we have any sort of ownership over the Wonkers, but shout out to a real one, I guess.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss him.
Yeah. He was more than just a big baddie Latina lusting Yu-Gi-Oh player. He was a union man. I don't think that's factually accurate, but so for our own, because obviously the Master Saga, the Saga Roulette, all of these ones are, I guess mostly like the Doug ones, are the fun, big, fancy sealed format ones. But we are working on our own sealed format series, and that's something that I wanted to like touch on. Because in the Master Chef, or not Master Chef, Master Saga, Team Master Saga, obviously it was a blowout, and the 6 bands versus 4 bands and the wheel of Farfa was not like adequate to maintain like a solid like balance. So what kind of safeguards do you like to see in your sealed formats to prevent something like that?
Well, I like when you get to ban cards by name and not individual counts, for one thing.
Look, it's a
chance,
7-episode series. Like, it's not going that far. Like, it's a best of 7. Like,
and when you get your comeback because I don't get to hit anything relevant to your deck, I'm sure that it'll be great for you.
you can dig on my choices of what to hit, but like you made some choices as well.
Intentionally bad.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything. All I'm saying is you're the kind of person that says, I don't think I should spend my 700 UR dust to craft 3 Fualos because I can't see them coming up. And you're like,
That's
but
not what I said.
Raigeki could be.
That's because I just don't want to run them.
I mean, like, that fair, but like, it's better. Like, there's no world in which Fua isn't better than Raigeki. If you wanna treat your bands like that too, like, go ahead. But
yeah, well, I mean, because it doesn't matter what I do with my. It didn't matter what I did with. I can't get into it. I can't get into it because it's spoilers. You can't goad me into spoiling our series, JD. God.
Well, I'm sure that there aren't any cards that you really hate forever. Pre-bans. Do you think that like it's a good idea to pre-ban certain cards in a sealed format, or do you think that it, like, depending, like, or do you think
it depends. I think it's absolutely. I think there's a lot of formats where it's like absolutely you should. I think in like Master Duel, it's a little trickier. I don't think you really can unless you are in situations where you're going to be both going into the same packs. For instance, like I guess it kind of makes sense with like Saga, with like some of just for like the big blowout cards like the Eldritch stuff and the Baron, where if you pull them and just have the ability to summon them, it's like, oh yeah, that's the series that ruins like if you, depending on the timing, it like ruins 3 weeks of the show until you get it banned normally. So like there's cases where like that could be an issue, but like and I think that there's not a right or wrong answer. I think sometimes it's funny when you just pull something perfect week 1 and you have to wait until it gets banned before it's taken away from you. And I think sometimes
I mean, yeah, you do have to play it by ear a little bit. Here's an idea that I had that you tell me if you think if this makes any sense. One thing that might be interesting, if you're going to be pulling from like a selection pack or something, or a master pack or whatever. Actually, which ones are the ones that are like the 4 generic, 4 on the 4 in pack?
Secret packs.
Thank you. For secret packs, it might be interesting to know what your opponent is, which secret pack your opponent is pulling from, and then preemptively ban a card from that pack before you know what cards they pulled. And the only thing, well, okay, I think of like, if you have a pack like Gen X where there is one link one that makes the whole thing happen, and if you ban that, then the deck is unplayable.
Pack immediately becomes unplayable.
Right. So, and I know that there aren't so many packs like that, but for any secret pack that has 2 archetypes in it, it would be a way of saying like, which archetype am I going to try to block out? I'm wondering if you having the person pulling from it can before the preemptive ban, preemptively protect a card and say, okay, you can't ban this card. If that could be an interesting sort of counterplay on the deck building
No.
side.
No, not really.
You don't think?
Because what it does is like because protecting it doesn't do anything if you incorrectly guess what they are going to pick. First of all,
Well, no.
so like
Oh yeah. Yeah.
so intrinsically, you're like just playing this weird little mini game where it's like, can I guess what they don't want me to pull? And like sometimes it'll be obvious and sometimes it won't. And then like obvious, yeah, sure, there's a mind game where it's like, okay, obviously this is the best card, but I can say so that's what they're going to protect. But if I say this, but then all it does is it just make the pack opening more frustrating when you pull this card that you don't get to use. Like obviously once you get it banned in it like in a later thing if you go back into a pack, but most series like that's not the thing. Most of the time packs are secret information, and intrinsically this requires you getting that secret information up front, which some series that will be the case, but like when it's not the case, it's just suddenly your opponent's going to be pulling from this, so you like can kind of counter deck build around what they are pulling for the week, so it becomes a whole other thing. Like it's one of these things where it's like it comes with 20,000 caveats that just make it not a thing that has much value to do.
I know that I'm definitely overcomplicating it, but do you think that like if it only applied to like say we lived in a world where it only applied to secret packs that had a 2 or more archetypes in it, and then it might become like a cool, so not only which archetype am I going to try to block, but also am I going to try to block an SR that's more likely to get pulled versus a UR that would make it all tie together versus a like normal or rare that's like pretty commonly useful. Like, like if I'm going into like the Unchained Fire King pack and you're like, all right, well, I don't know what JD's going to pull, but I'll block Torrential Tribute so I don't have to deal with Tribute. I mean, do you think like that could also be like an interesting way to do it, or is that still getting too fine with it?
I think the only way you could, there's no good way to do it. Like the only thing I could think of is like if you pull that card, then you still get something, because otherwise all that happens is you preemptively know that the pack is much worse than it seems.
True, but that would be the case for both.
Fundamentally less what?
That would be the case for both players. So you'd want to balance it out with like more pulls or something like that. But yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, like it doesn't make sense to only have it apply to multi packs, because then you're like then both players are going to be disappointed when I have this like there's like this, it's just like this needless thing that makes pack pulling more frustrating. Like it's already bad it's already annoying when you pull a card that is banned in a standard series like Saga. Like sometimes you'll just pull a good card on the left side of the pack or in your master pack that's banned, and it's like, cool, I can't use this. So it's literally just a waste of like a UR slot, for instance.
That's a good point. I think for every I'm going to preemptively ban Torrential Tribute in the Unchained Fire King pack, there's a I'm going to ban your ABC combo guy in your
I'm
ABC.
going to ban Gen X controller so that
I wasn't going to mention that card. No, I think you're right. I think I mean,
it's literally just the easiest example of it. It's like, this is a literal 1-card custom card that Konami printed to make a deck exist. So like, yeah, if you ban the 1-card custom card that Konami printed, it is going to kill a deck or a pull.
I will. So the thing that's probably more impactful, because like you said, I think I didn't kind of think about it like that, but you want the pulling to be as fun as possible. What about after the fact? So in terms of managing bans, really, I guess the question that I would think is there something that you could do afterwards that would be so strong that like you couldn't have like that catch-up mechanic? And I suppose
like,
that
I think what you're
I suppose that could be in terms of like banning too many cards from your opponent, but also just like giving yourself too much advantage in the next polls or in the next game or something like that.
I think what you might be describing is just having bans that are episode to episode. Like I think that is I do think that is a reasonable way to take it. For instance, I actually have thought about that as a suggestion for next season. Like it could be as simple as like I like just to make it even, maybe like both players get to ban one. Like if we are going to insist on one card bans versus name bans for us specifically, I think an interesting thing might be like at the end of every episode, like we each get to ban one card and the loser gets like an extra ban. Or something to that nature. It doesn't have to be that exact situation, but like I think like ban, and then you'd still have like the normal like mid-season bans, for instance. Like once you hit thresholds of episode numbers or loss counts, you'd still have bigger bans. But like I think that's kind of, it's annoying, but it is kind of the most on the fly way to elegantly remove problem cards that like make a format of a series with formats like annoying when somebody pulls like Barone.
What about here's an idea. You tell me if you think that this is too strong. If you're doing like we've been doing a best of 3, right? So instead of having periodic bans, at the end of every episode, the loser bans 1 or 2 cards, depending on. I was gonna say just like the loser bans a card. Sorry, the loser bans a name after every like best of 3. But it might be more interesting to see the loser gets to ban a name for like the differential. So if you go 0-2, you get to ban 2 names. If you go 1-2, you only get to ban the 1 name. But instead of having a periodic one in there, it's just like running. Like if you lose, you get a ban, and that can kind of help you catch up a little bit better, and be a little bit more.
I do like the only thing is that you do sometimes have to honor system it where somebody could misplay to make sure they still get a ban, but also I don't think that's bad. I think that you can be allowed to do that sometimes. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think that's like you know, like obviously like if you're an asshole you might do it, but like we're like in any given series most people are doing this for fun, right? Like if one of us does it, it is probably for the fun. It is legitimately probably for the fun of it, of the game. It's not like we're trying to shark a win. It's like, oh yes, I am going to 2-0 you, but also you pulled like the world's most annoying floodgate. So yeah, I'll misplay just to ban that specific thing. And like and like
because then you would have to,
a little bit of a dick move, but
yeah, I mean like if you do get like, oh, I flip macro and you're playing your Dark World deck and you could just be like, all right, cool, well I'll just if I encounter any resistance on game 2, I'll just give up. Sure, I guess you could run into that situation. You could also do something like the loser of each set gets a name ban, and then based on how many games they won, they get like 1 or 2 extra crafts from their secret packs, and that way, rather than going after the opponent's cards, it's easier for you to get better cards for the next game.
I do kind of like that. I honestly kind of like it.
Yeah.
I think I like the differential the most. Honestly, I the differential bans the most. I think that it is a good on the fly way to weaken decks week to week. It is again a little format dependent, etc. Blah blah blah. It's not for like every series, but like especially for ours, I think that actually would be a really a solid way of doing it. I think it actually could be interesting for Saga too. I think that like doing weekly minor bans just to prevent, like obviously sometimes that is going to kill a deck unfairly, unfortunately, which is not great. Maybe I think you have to have like some kind of like.
Well, but that is the point, right? Like the point is that it sometimes might hit a deck unfairly, and I guess it's worse if the person who that hits as already losing. But if the person's winning, like, you want to get rid of that deck. And if the person who won that deck is, sure, maybe they're behind, but if they won because they have that deck and then you ban it, well, then even if they lose the next week, then they also are in the same position where it's a more fair ban system going forward. So they're also going to be able to take your legs out next week. So it's
Yeah, it's kind of, not to bring it up, but again, it is like, you know what? Let me think of an actually a better deck name for this other than Gen X.
yeah. Let's
Oh,
elemental.
you know what? Actually,
No.
Pearly is a very good example, because like,
What
if
card would you ban from
Pearly is
Pearly? Turn off the deck. Delicious.
well, that no. Easier. The thing that they never do, because I don't know, they've never played Pearly.
Normal summon Pearly.
You just ban if you have two bans, you just ban both normal names. Like, you just ban Pearly and Perlily.
Oh yeah, that's
and
true.
then the deck is fully dead. And it's like, if you 2-0 with a Pearly deck, no
But
matter
that's not
how
true. What if
good
you
it
what if you're
is-
running heroic challengers?
What?
You know, the
You need the Pearly names
oh,
and the quick plays to turn on the proper form of the effects.
Well, I don't
you
know
literally
that.
need them.
I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
yeah, that's because you haven't read Pearlies, and nobody's read Pearlies, and everybody is shocked when you actually have to like interact with Pearlies in a way that actually could turn them off and have made them not had to be hit at any point in their lifespan. But because nobody reads Pearly cards, they just would rather
That's true.
ban and whine about it. Sorry, I'm over exaggerating.
Oh,
I'm
Pearlies are level
obviously-
2, not level 1. Never mind.
No, Pearlies are level. Oh, you mean the XYZs? Yeah, they're
Yeah,
rank
these-
2s into rank 7s.
Oh yeah. Okay, well,
And again, the
Wait,
big guys need.
wait, these
the
are
level
generic.
ones.
wait,
Yeah,
Beauty's
but
generic,
again,
Plump
you
is
need
generic.
the quick. You need the quick plays to turn on the better form of their effects at the rank 2, and you need the level 1 to turn on the better form of the rank 7 effects. Like, you don't get to half attack if you don't have happiness doesn't half attack if you don't have happy memory as material. Beauty isn't a quick effect if you have pretty memory as material, and delicious is plump is a quick effect, unless is only a quick effect if you have delicious. Like, you can summon them off of 2 rank 2s, but then you still have to actually have drawn the quick play afterwards to attach. You can't,
Which is
like-
harder in sealed, but I think in the regular decks is less of a problem.
Yeah, I can't stress enough. Like, you very, very technically can play them generically. You can't play them generically. You can't actually play them generically.
Well, you know,
like,
we're in a
sealed format,
format.
you could, but it would not matter.
Yeah, I
It
mean,
would
in a
not
sealed,
matter.
if
Like,
you're playing in a sealed
it
format,
would-
you'd have to be like, all right, well, I've somehow got a level 2 engine that can't do any of the good level 2 stuff, but I also have Pearl. I mean, you know,
Yeah,
I
it
think
would basically be like if you got Pearly, somebody did exactly what I'm talking about, where you had the ability to ban both the main deck monster names, and then maybe you got like a light sprite package, so you still had all the quick plays. Like, the quick plays still do things that are nice, so like that is a very hypothetical sealed situation where it would matter, but also that then you'd be running like just such a bad deck at that point that who would care? It would be cool that you're doing that rather than like, oh yeah, cool, I get to deal with a quick effect negate from Pearly Beauty, which I'm not going to go into all the stuff with Pearly and Saga. Watching the Pearly situations in Saga kills me.
I know. Well, you know, I never have to deal with that because nobody in their entire life has crafted Millennium in a sealed format, for extremely obvious reasons.
Yeah, because it's impossible to get.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a dismal sealed format strategy. But you know, obviously, if you could summon the guy,
Are they
you just
even
win
in
every
the
game.
pack?
Sorry, say again?
Are the Exodia parts?
Yeah, they're in the pack.
Yeah, okay, they are in the.
They're
pack.
in the pack. It's just you have to pull 5 normals, and then you have to pull 5
and then the
normals, 1 plus
SR,
Onk. You have to
2
pull
SRs and an UR.
Yeah, no, Fires of Infinity is like not a good secret pack to go into, just because you do have. I mean, the thing is, for like a deck building pack, like, I will always recommend Millennium as a deck to new players because it is so easy to build. It's super like straightforward. It does some really crazy strong things, and you don't have to like. Obviously, the more stuff you have, to like the more non-engine you have to like to pair with it, like the more likely you're gonna have to win. But you can also like just craft a bunch of really annoying shit like Statue of Anguish pattern and well maybe not that one, but like well Statue of Anguish pattern is in the pack, unbelievably. Yeah, there's a trap monster lineup in Fires of Infinity that actually doesn't make it the worst thing to ever go into. So, Swamp Mirror, Zoma. Yeah. It's so annoying. It's really cool to play. It's really annoying. Lord Chaos says joke out card idea. Level 5 Gemini monster where it becomes a normal monster in the end phase and you have to re-Gemini summon. They should do reverse Geminis. They start out as effect monster and then become normal. Yeah, I bet that actually that's a really cool card. Lord KO coming in with like the #1 new card idea for 2026. Did I just create the archetype of the summer? Finally, the world's first going third Primite deck. Also, Lord KO, thank you so much for the 100 bits. That actually means a ton to me. Mwah. Mwah. You're awesome. You're awesome. Thank you for coming in during this little podcast discussion stream that we've got going on.
I just will assume that this works.
Thank you.
Nope.
No, I went to
Okay,
Lucid.
fine, I'll... Okay,
Thank
fine.
you,
I'll gift it
Zico.
directly.
Well, then we gotta wait for the 20 seconds. I do like that. I think that the having a rolling sort of having a rolling benefit that is both like, I think 2 bans and 2 crafts is for like in a 1v1 is probably a little too powerful, but within that like range, you could probably tweak it a little bit and come up with like whatever your preferred like power balance is. And I think that that's probably a really easy way to like manage sealed formats. So I mean, I think we've come up with a really good answer to that question.
Yeah. Like, again, it's real hard to balance for like a lot of things like it, but I do think like it's unfortunate, but I think more frequent ban lists is kind of like just the best way to handle like balance. Yeah. It's like it's boring, it's unfun, and it makes like the bans a lot less interesting when you make them more common. But also like, if you want a good format, you got to do bans when there's problem cards. And then unfortunately, the counterpart to that is when the format's good, then the bans feel bad because suddenly you're just like making a fun format less fun, probably.
Well, hopefully it results in a little bit more back and forth, but I think overall it is probably better to keep things on that up and down path. But I think that's good, and obviously we've got Packbit coming out next Tuesday. So if you guys want to see our sealed format series, because we're so amazing and cute, then that'll be on my YouTube channel, JDS Infinity, coming out next week. And there's going to be 7 episodes. I think we're well, I actually don't remember what episode we're on now, but
there's more than 7 episodes. It's first to 7.
I thought it was first to 5. It's first to 5. Oh, we're doing best of 9. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
well,
so it's best of 9. So there's at least 5 episodes, maximum 9.
Gotcha.
I think we're
on our way. Yeah, we're on our way. We can't say, but we are on our way. As far as Yugi tubing shows go, loopholes, stealth drop. For those of you who are not familiar, a
Stealth
new
drop.
wonky quartet. Yeah, there. I don't think that there was any sort of social announcement for it, so they
I don't
released
think
it.
there's been an announcement for anything that they've ever
Yeah,
released.
well, it's just
at
that
least
that means it's a
at least
stealth.
at least that MBT has ever released.
that's yeah. So anyway, it counts as, it qualifies as a stealth drop. Loopholes debuted now that Gage, the Age of Gage, is over, and we had episode 1. MBT goes to Danny's house and steals his stuff in order to fulfill the prompt. What I mean, you can't like do better. Like, I don't know. I think we may have jumped the shark here on
They did just
YouTubing.
lead with the best episode. Like, I don't know where you go from here.
I like. I mean, so that's obviously something that I'm watching. Good on them. I'm glad that they finally figured out that dueling and like trying to figure out duel prompts is like it just maddening, and they're all infuriating, so they can't do that. So they're just like, all right, just here's a prompt. Go do it somehow. That's awesome. Lord KO, my advent deck ideas where it's 24 spells, 24 traps, 12 main, 12 extra monsters of cool. Oh, that's a really fun idea. I don't know if we're gonna do any like specialty deck building ones. I guess that's just Master Chef, isn't it? If we tried to do something like that. But so loopholes is really fun. I'm looking forward to more episodes of Loopholes. I've also been, of course, watching the SEMO Master Duel Masochist videos, which have been like really interesting to me. You know, it's cool to see like from scratch trying to build a cool deck, and I think SEMO finally got rid of Call of the Haunted, which is like
so funny because that show,
God.
the masochist list decks should be up my alley. I just haven't watched them. I should. I just haven't.
They're fun. I think it's interesting to just see like, okay, does the deck evolve this episode or not? And also obviously like sometimes you just get like crazy pulls out of nowhere. But it's almost, you know, do you remember that like Minecraft series where like to the far lands, like the guy's just like walking to the end of the game for like 10 years? It feels more like that rather than like, you know, building a new deck every week, which is some of the what a lot of the other series kind of look to do.
Yeah. If anything, I probably is exactly a series to do what I think I have done with it, which is just randomly check in every couple episodes when I'm like, oh yeah, I guess I can watch this, and then just it's like not a completely different deck, but different enough that it's like, oh cool, that's progress after like 5 episodes that I didn't watch. That's neat. I probably should go back and watch some random old ones for that.
Well, that's kind of what I'm trying to do with Journey of 1,000 Cards, my new series on YouTube that debuted last Tuesday, and another episode will be coming out.
Maybe I should do. Continue. I'm sorry.
No, yeah, that'll be coming out not next Tuesday, but the Tuesday after. I'm going to alternate Packbit and Journey. Just something that I can do and be like, all right, every week, like, what are we doing? We're trying to build a deck around a random card. Let's see what we can do. Something that, you know, is a little bit more episodic, and you can kind of just check in and see. Cool. You had to find a way to win the game with Swamp Mirror. How did you incorporate Swamp Mirror into your strategy?
You played Tier Elements.
Is Swamp Mirror, I guess that's a tier card, but like it seems really bad. Like, do you have a way to activate it turn 1? Or?
So, oh wait, am I? Oh, the
it's just
sorry, Swamp Mirror. I'm thinking of that's the trap monster. I'm thinking of Swamp King of the Swamps.
Yeah, King of the Swamps.
Then you just run Odeon. Sure. Then you just run Odeon and you run like effing.
I mean, I think that I would, right? Like I would.
Yeah, you'd run Odeon. You'd run the Quantum Cat, and you would probably just run like Dolka.
Yeah,
Dolka or Lagia for a declared dinosaur, get a free. Like that was my deck. That was my deck in the day. I friggin' love Trap Monsters. Trap Monsters are second to Pearly as my favorite deck of all time, honestly. I love continuous Trap Monsters as a deck. I wish that you could play them in a fun way alongside Odeon. I'm probably still going to try to. I love Trap Monsters so much, continuous Trap Monsters specifically.
On Sunday, do you want to help me build a Millennium Trap Monster deck? Because I've been thinking about trying to put the Argo Stars into it, and I don't know. I think that it might be interesting. If not, no worries. But that is something that I have been thinking about for a while. I guess feel free to not answer me. That's okay.
No, I'm sorry. I'm like thinking because I don't know Argo Stars. Argo Stars are interesting, but they don't play in the way that continuous trap monsters in the same way that continuous trap monsters do, which is good for them. That it's a better way of playing. In regards to modern meta, I don't fault it for that. I don't think it's like a bad take on trap monsters. It's just not like
what you're used to.
Yeah, it's not what I'm used to. I don't know it. I hate to say it, but like I kind of like the more boring take where you just set 5 and have to like kind of play around the weird intricacies of trap monsters. I hate to say it, but
That's
oh
okay,
god.
Zico. I know that you have weird, boring Yu-Gi-Oh tastes, but that's what I love about you.
No, I have
Variety is
very
the spice
good
of life.
Yu-Gi-Oh tastes, and then
And
also I like a very boring trap monster deck because, admittedly, like one of my favorite parts about it is the fact that Imperial Customs just is this funny. I just love Imperial Customs and custom.
sorry, I say something. Oh my god. Well, bad news. The boy, I have really bad news for us, and that is the speaker. Say something.
I am saying words.
Oh no. Okay, well, I have screwed us over with the audio on at least 20% of this. At least 20% of this episode, this podcast.
I'm watching the stream and it seems fine.
Right, because I have the audio output capture, for the first scene, but I neglected to put it in for the second scene. So anytime I swapped over to the like view of like
Oh
my
my god.
desktop, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I you know, I got ahead of myself.
Oh my god, JD. Oh my god, and you were on there for so much. That can't be because I swear I was that like was I just oh no, because I wasn't talking for those. I wouldn't have been talking during the YouTube videos, so I wouldn't know. Oh my god, JD, you were not in this for so much of this.
Well, I was in it, you weren't. Is the
I mean, you weren't in. You were. I'm saying you were tabbed out of the scene that had me for most of this. Is what I'm saying.
well, I know for most of it we've been in the scene that
Every other time I've looked at your stream, it has been in. You have been in a different tab.
I know, because when you're not looking, you're talking, and when you're talking, anyway, you know, fair, yeah, no, I'm sorry, I have screwed this up. Let's finish up. We can finish this up and know for sure that we're gonna be fine. With our final
Oh my
topic,
God.
conversation topic of the day, which is
I was gonna say something. Oh yeah, I wanted to. I'm just plugging. Everyone go watch Regression series by Jesse J Plays. It's the best. It's simply the greatest sealed Yu-Gi-Oh format of all time. I don't know what to tell you. Jesse J Plays Yu-Gi-Oh Regression series. They are very normal people on that series, and they are all very funny.
yeah.
We
Go
gotta,
check
we
them
gotta.
out. Yeah.
I gotta get you watching that. It's so good.
No,
It's
that's
such a good.
I saw like one episode, but it was like at
gotta
the beginning,
watch
so
more.
it was a lot. All right, our final conversation topic of the day, because that's actually good. That's actually a good way to wrap up the loopholes, stealth drop, and other new YugiTube content section. Our final topic of the day is going to be gay Phimena or thought snatchy. By which I mean, are you going to be personally investing in Dracotail going forward, or are you going to be going for a yummy build in Master Duel as
I
we
mean,
approach
but
our tri
I
type?
already have Yummy.
You
I
already
already have Yummy, and
Okay.
I'm gonna. I have pre-built Vanquish Soul. I did not pull a single goddamn Draco Tail card. Uh, this is not a conversation. I don't care about Draco Tail at this point because I can't afford to. I have pre-invested in Vanquish Soul years before it was even announced to have any support, let alone synergy with K9. I am simply going to be hoping to high roll K9 Vanquish Soul because uh, I I'm probably not going to make Yummy Pearly work. Unfortunately, I'm gonna try, but I think it does unfortunately require basically running no hand traps to make it a consistent deck in any way in regards to going first. Well, I don't know. I guess I could like fudge the numbers on the main Pearly monster so I don't care about the search as much.
Do you
I
think?
don't know. I might try this, and I might try this as a stupid like 60 card deck build for Pearly. I might try a weird bad 60 card deck Pearly Yummy build. I'll experiment with that. There's some interesting ways to do that since Yummy can like clear out a bunch of its own deck and then you can still go for the stupid Pearly plays. It's just not going to be very good on the Pearly side probably. That might be something to test out actually. I'm glad I said that out loud. I'm going to mess with that.
I don't think that I'm gonna, because I never got the chance to invest in Vanquish Soul, which is another reason that like I know that like I always pull more of I always pull more of the archetypes that I don't want than the archetypes that I do want in packs. Probably because if I pull enough of the archetype I do want, I stop pulling. So a little bit of bias there, but I'm pretty sure if you've seen my Yummy pulls, I'm 90 packs into Yummy and I have 3 Yummy monsters. So take that for what you will. Of the URs, I should say. But I'm wondering if, I love the idea of K9 Vanquish Soul, because Vanquish Soul is a really cool archetype. It's just
such a cool
it's just
archetype.
one that I really don't like playing against because it's really fucking annoying. So what if I just
Vanquish Soul?
what if I do Yummy and then I pair it with a Kashtira engine? I think I should do that. I think I could do that. I bet that would be a cool way to do it. I think that way I could be equally as annoying as the Vanquish Soul K9 players. I think that's my plan going forward.
I don't know if that'll accomplish much.
No, but
I
like
feel like there's not.
it's about sending a
I
message.
feel like there's diminishing values on that combination. Like in a world where like because you can't even go into a Rise Heart because it hurts the Yummy engine. You don't want to banish your Yummies.
Yeah,
like,
it's less about going into
I
a
guess you
Rise
get
Heart
to
and more
add
about
them to
sending a
your
message.
material. So you what's that message that you can't build a coherent deck?
No. Well, no. That it's not about that. I don't have to have good cards to be annoying. I can make do with.
I mean, the Kashtira cards are still good. They're still just annoying. They're just annoying good cards.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
I guess like you
Yeah,
can
if
summon
we're
Unicorn
if my
and
option
everyone can complain about
if
it.
my options are Draco Tail or Vanquish Soul K9, like fuck it, I'll be annoying. I'll be an annoying motherfucker too. I'll make Kashtira Yummy, and we'll all fucking suffer. Nobody gets to have fun. We're all
think you'll
coming down to the pit
suffer-
with me.
I think you'll get more suffering out of just playing Yummy is the thing. Like I think Yummy is more annoying than Kashtira Yummy. I don't outside of just like if you're just saying I'm gonna run one unicorn, then yeah, I guess that's a little more annoying. But like Yummy already produces more annoying forms of interaction than Kashtira.
It's like this.
Like the annoying part of Kashtira is that it gets to a consistent macro, but you don't want to summon the macro with Yummy. Yummy on board.
But it's like this. It's like this. You do your Yummy stuff, and then your opponent says, "Ha ha ha! I've got the answer. I'm clearing your. You go second. You try to do your Yummy stuff. Your opponent just they just have enough to prevent you from doing all your Yummy stuff. You're like, damn. All right, Kashtira Unicorn. A Rise Heart hits the field. Boom.
Your board isn't going to be cleared though.
Okay. Well,
They're gonna if you've stopped Yummy successfully, you probably have something negated on board or like face down. You're facing another Yummy player and you've like faced down their board. And if all you're summoning is Unicorn, you're clearing one monster. Or if
Well,
all you summon is Fenrir, then you don't get Unicorn, and all you're dealing with is one Fenrir.
okay. Well, you could also just do. I mean, I personally, yes. So setting up Yummy as what's it called? Setting
Oh
up.
wait, I guess Unicorn gets.
I
to
think
the
if you can
spell that would let you get to Fenrir too.
Yeah,
so you
if-
would
if
get
you
both,
can-
I guess.
if you can lead with a Kashtira monster and then do your Yummy combo and then set up a Rise Heart at the end, like yeah, I mean it's not better for
You
Yummy.
still are turning off your Yummies because
Yeah,
they,
but it's now they have to deal with a Rise Heart, so
well, then just run Kashtira or any rank 7 engine, and then they have to just deal with a Rise
right.
Heart,
But
full
if
stop.
if they deal with your Yummy stuff before a Rise Heart, then you have
If they-
then you have, or then a Rise Heart is just wreaking havoc on their deck. In the meantime, and if they take care of a Rise Heart first, thanks for turning on Yummy. That was a bad idea. It's not the most optimal way to play, but it is really annoying, and that is the spirit
it's
of
going to be,
Yu-Gi-Oh.
I promise it's going to be 10 times more annoying for you because you are just literally not going to be able to do it.
Zico, I play
because
Pure
there's
Millennium.
no-
I play a deck with 9 bricks in it.
Here's the other part of that. Like you're
At minimum.
the zone math doesn't work out because you have to get to a Rise Heart. You're in a world where like you fundamentally can't do it going first because your opponent would have to trigger a Kashtira effect to allow. How does stupid a Rise Heart work? A Rise Heart, the worst card in the game, by the way.
Yeah, I
worst
mean,
design card.
is your Rise Heart banned?
Um,
Hold on, let me see if I need to see if a Rise Heart is banned actually.
Oh no, that's you can't even Arise Heart turn 1 unless you have 3 level 7s because it requires Shangri-La. So there's no world in which you get to Shangri-La and then still have one. Like you have to. The zone math doesn't work out because
Yeah, you need, like-
Yummy is the.
Yeah, you go into Shangri-Ira and then you like just plop a Rise Heart on top of that at the end, whenever you
And
feel
then you
like
can't
it.
go into Yummy.
Well, I mean, you do it at the end.
But here's the thing: you can't do it at the end because what you require to get to that position, you can. Here's the situation where that works because you can't special summon them. You have to special summon the Kashtiras first because Yummies are on the field, so then you can't special summon the Kashtiras, right? So you have to go for the Kashtiras first.
You
Do
go
agree to that?
Kashtira, Shangri-Ira, and then
And then you have to have a third Kashtira somehow. So that's minimum 2
you just need
zones
you just need
filled up.
you just
So
need your
have
you just need your
3 main monster zones.
you just need your Shangri-Ira to resolve its effect. And then you can
which
overlay
you
Rise
have to
Heart.
do by having a third Kashtira on field to cause a banish to happen, which also has to happen. There's no there's not a way to make your opponent has to react to something to get the Kashtira Shangri-La effect to activate.
I think there's a way to do it. I think
There's a Kashtira on field, so you have to be working with 3 main monster zones
I think it's 1 main monster zone.
for Yummy combo.
I think it's 4. I think you can use 4 main monster zones. I
No,
think
you can't because you can't put it in the extra monster zone because you need that for the link summons of
Yeah,
Yummy.
no, for sure. Yeah, you put Shangri-Ira on the far left, and then you're fine.
And then you still need another Kashtira on field because there is no world in which you do Yummy combo, then summon a Kashtira, and then because you have to have the Kashtira on field to already trigger the Shangri-La.
you lead Unicorn, get Birth, get Fenrir, make Shangri-Ira. They do something.
They don't do anything because you still need the Kashtira for the something to matter.
I'm pretty sure you can do something. But
No,
I don't
you
play.
can't
I don't
because
play
it
Kashtira.
has to
So.
banish something face down to activate Shangri-La.
Oh, true.
So you do need 2 guys on field for Shangri-La.
I'll just put
activate,
Scareclaw Kashtira on field, and then it's
which
fine.
doesn't banish face down.
So
you don't activate Shangri-La. It has to be Fenrir, Ogre. It actually has to just be Ogre or Unicorn because Fenrir would have to banish something on your opponent's field, which going first
is not going to happen. And in a world where you're going second, none of this matters because you're not going to get this far anyway. You're
Well,
going to get negated before anything
search.
happens.
Well, you just search Rise Heart, and then boom, there you go.
Yeah, well, yeah, going second, you like hope that you get a Rise Heart lines off, and then when you don't, you start Yummy and get negated first anyway. But so it doesn't matter going second. It's not going to work going second.
I think that this is.
But going first, you're working with. I'm trying to think if you can do Yummy stuff with 3 main monster zones. You can probably get somewhere, but not. It's like a very basic ass Yummy board.
Well, you can
And then
decide
you still
to play.
Don't actually get to do any of that Yummy board because until they out a Rise Heart, which only has 1 material, so it's also not a quick banish. So all they have to do is activate Tribute to the Doomed, and they kill a Rise Heart.
Well,
and then
you
it's
can,
just a Yummy board.
well,
Or
I
they
mean,
just kill the Yummies, actually. All they would have to do is kill a Yummy that was a problem.
Yeah, but you have
No, because it would be no. Because they can tag out of a synchro for free.
So, listen, I'll just say this: you can decide to run 1 Droll in your deck because you don't like playing hand traps. I'll decide to run a Rise Heart in my deck because I like being annoying, and we'll each agree that we're not playing the best thing, but we are playing the thing that speaks to us most in our lives.
Well, again,
Being dumb.
I'm I am simply saying that you won't even get to be annoying. I'm trying to help figure out if you can actually be annoying, which I know you're just doing a bit.
Well,
and
I'll
I'm
just
doing
normal
my bit,
summon
which is
Labyrinth
taking
Heavy
it to
Tank.
the
I don't know what
logical
you're.
extreme.
I don't know what you want from me. I'll just normal summon Labyrinth Heavy Tank.
I know you will.
And yeah.
Oh, I know you will, you son of a gun.
All right. Well, I'm glad to hear that we both have some real fun times up ahead. Like I said, open invitation on Sunday if you want to help me build Millennium Argo Stars.
I
As
will
of
probably be busy with Weast on Sunday, but
Oh, yeah, that's true.
But and again, I unfortunately just don't know Argo Stars lines.
all right. Well, I don't either, so I guess I'll do it. I will see you. I suppose I will see you then. Anything you want to leave the adoring fans off with before we head out? This has been a good stream.
I'm doing commissions. Please commission me. I am
Oh.
Zico Fool on Blue Sky. I do commissions.
Yes,
I do art commissions.
you can see Zico Fool's wonderful. Zico, do some kind of like funny Discord reactive stuff so that people can see your like different art. And you can advertise yourself. For example, Zico has a really cool sign where she can like go like chat +2 JD, and then everybody laughs and screams and has a wonderful time. Yeah, no, that's the wrong one.
That's
Zico,
the one.
Can you pull up the other one? Yeah, there we go. Please buff ice types. Also Zico, thank you for look at that.
I do a mean chicory art style.
You do. I should play Chicory more.
Same.
Because I haven't finished it.
Same, unfortunately.
That's crazy that you haven't finished it.
Yeah,
But...
I know.
No, yeah, go check out Zico. Zico, thank you again for the tier 1 sub to Lord KO. We are at 95 subs on our stretch goal to 10 million subs. Once we hit 10 million, I will buy and eat a chunk of pure uranium. So look forward to that. If you guys want to help me sort of get some momentum for that, very much appreciated. We've already made some good progress, but we still have a ways to go. So
I wish Memento was better.
Memento is one of the top battle damage cards. Sorry, that's not a comprehensible statement, but if I go to my list of top cards, average battle damage, Memento Tekutlica combined creation, average battle damage 3612. So pretty cool.
What a good card.
Yeah. One of the top 7 battle damage cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! Unfortunately, my Unstoppable Exodia Incarnate is right up there with the number ones. Unfortunately, it gets beat up by Terahertz and Psychic End Punisher, but nobody plays Psychic End Punisher. Yeah, Terahertz is only number 2 though. Pep is number 1 at 5944. So people are on average dealing 6,000 battle damage with it, which is a little crazy. But these are all, they're all fun. They're all fun ones. This is honestly a goated ass list. This is a list of really fucking fun cards to play. Even if the decks that support them maybe are not the most fair. So looking at you, Trident Dragon. Looking at you. and Azamina. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Zico, for being here.
Thank you.
Whoops. There we go. Yeah, I'm gonna we're gonna run with this setup. I'm gonna get you on for some more of these and not have tech difficulties and have really cool, like, I'm gonna come up with even more assets and stuff like that. It's gonna be awesome. So if you have any suggestions, feel free to email me at my email. I'm not gonna tell you what it is, but you'll know if you believe. All right. Cool.
Okay.
Good stuff. That's everything I needed for today.
All right,
Thank you for hanging out with me.
man. Yeah, always a blast. Oh my god. I hope they make more Pearly support. We really deserve the last two attributes.
You know what?
I would love to play like a meta Pearly, modern meta Pearly. I don't know what they would do though. I think you do have to. I'm sorry, I'm completely derailing us.
We're done. Go for it. I mean, I'm good. I'm just looking.
End the stream.
No, I'm just looking for people to raid.
Okay.
So.
Good. Like, oh my god, like, I think you. So obviously you have 2 more quick plays, 2 more attributes, which also means 2 more extra deck, which unfortunately does mean you don't get to as easily play a second archetype because your main deck space and especially your extra deck space get really filled up that way. But if you can make the deck good enough, I don't think it matters that much. You potentially even drop certain elements depending on what type of build, what the support is. Like, I think you can get away without an extra main deck monster, but an extra main deck monster would do so much for the deck just because otherwise you're stuck with a hard once per turn that didn't need to be a hard once per turn on Lily, which is the best effect. And like,
oh, you know what? They could call it Pearl 3.
They could.
Yeah, they call it Pearl 3.
Pearl 3.
Pearl 3.
Call it Pearl Jam.
I'm hitting you for that. I'm sending sound effects to my own chat. That's me hitting. No, I'm not going to do that. That's a good joke. Thank you. Good joke.
But man,
just soundboard me.
Yeah. I don't actually know. It is tricky. Like, I think what the deck unfortunately needs is like, it needs a way to play its quick plays from hand. Like, part of, like, I joke about it, but everybody is like, oh my god, drawing 6 with Pearly, it's insane that the deck does it. But like, even with hand traps, that doesn't matter. If you're drawing 6, you're already in a winning position. The hand traps are the least of the concern. Like, if like, sure, you draw 6, who cares? Who cares if you've drawn 6? I've been over this with you. If you draw 6 with Pearly, you have made a critical error somewhere because you really want at least one of your quick plays attached to be the attack gain, and there's no realistic way in which there are very limited situations where you get to the 6th draw and you haven't made it to also a conscious choice to get to a Delicious along the way, unless Delicious, now that Delicious isn't at 1 anymore. When Delicious was at 1, that could come up, but
yeah, no, I think they should. I think they should make like some more Pearly extra deck monsters so that you can't ever get rid of them. They all just float into the next Pearly no matter what. If your Pearly gets banished face down, you can summon a Pearly from the extra deck, ignoring your summoning conditions, and then attach 2 monsters from deck. I think they should do that.
I think what it needs to be is, I think, I don't want it to be a second field spell, but it also another continuous spell just kind of sucks to have for it to have to be like, but like some kind of continuous effect that lets you, maybe a continuous trap. Because then, continuous trap might be the way. I didn't consider continuous trap because then you don't get to activate it on your turn. Continuous trap that lets you quick plays from your hand on your opponent's turn. Gives a secondary effect, probably also has a graveyard effect like the other Pearly trap. And then you make maybe a more aggressive set of, like, the fire quick play could actually be an aggressive effect. That would rule.
I'm making a Jeb sweeps map, but it's gonna be just Pearly. Unfortunately, I can't find the
You know what? I'm gonna make my prediction right now. The fire and earth quick plays are gonna just go in a completely busted different direction where their main effect is to special summon a Pearly from deck, and then you discard for like an aggressive effect. Like the fire one, you special summon a Pearly from deck, and then you can discard to destroy a card on field.
Agreed. I think
What
we
the
should do
earth
that.
one?
I'm not paying
Oh no,
attention.
no, no!
I'm
Wind.
I'm trying
Wind
to
is
create.
the one we're missing.
I'm trying to make a meme here.
That's fine.
I'm gonna do that before the stream ends. I need you to continue talking about Pearly so that I can make this meme.
I don't know what the wind one would be.
The wind
Like
one
fire
would
is easy. You just be aggressive, but like, I guess it could. I guess it could just be MST.
just make it Radiant Typhoon.
Oh, actually, you know what? Yeah, that you know what? It would be as simple as like fire is a monster destruction, wind is a spell trap destruction. It gives them something proactive uh to do with the quick play effects. I kind of like that. I just don't know what else you would do with them. I guess like one of them could just, well, you can't really make them a draw because then they're free. Then they're just the best card that's ever been printed. I have no clue what the extra deck versions would be. It's a little unfortunate. Like, I don't think we obviously don't need another big boss monster. Oh, I actually did have like an idea for for an extra Pearly extra deck, which is just like the two of them. It's just Lily and you. You know what? Actually, that's my pitch. You make a rank 1 that actually requires Lily and per Lily and just plain Pearly.
Yeah.
Ooh. And then you still do have to make all of the extra effects. Like you still need like something that lets you quick play on your opponent's turn. It could be that. That could be the thing that does it.
You know, I'm really mad because Pearly, if I type Pearly into DeviantArt, it just like gives me like the most insane shit that's not related to Pearlies at all.
Purrely?
Yep, it just
Okay.
is not you know, this is not this is not really the way that I should be doing this, but whatever. We're just going to go happiness cuz I'm not going to find like the
God, I wish I didn't have to. I Pearly Mimigul is the best deck in the world, folks. I don't know what else to tell you.
That's not
it's
true.
just the most interesting deck.
Millennium is
it's
the best.
The coolest, funnest deck.
You're telling me that this image that I've added covers most of the template? Oh no. Anyways.
I hope you have a good night's rest tonight, JD. You deserve it.
Thank you. I will not. I have to do a lot of stuff.
Well, maybe you should start working on that stuff rather than making a meme then.
Not a chance.
Especially, well, what if I have to hop off now?
Hold on. I'm almost done. I'm actually almost done with the meme.
Using X Pearly happiness is the funniest choice.
Well, Pearly is happy because Pearly is winning, so it's the most logical conclusion. I can't really cover up like his hands all the way, but like I can kind of get most of the way there. Okay, and then we do actually need I do need to add text. How do I re-add the text in? Oh, add text. Here we go.
It's also a shame that X Pearly happiness isn't like a more consistent like option in the deck, because like normal happiness is just already the OTK line.
Oh my gosh.
Should I run Temple of the Kings specifically so that I can activate per Lily turn 1 to transform? No, you know what, that the stupidest sentence. I can't even like make that as a joke. That one doesn't work at all.
All right, Zico. I'm getting close. I'm almost done with this. It's gonna be really funny. You're gonna see it and you're gonna laugh out loud. You're gonna be like,
I mean, I'm looking at it.
okay, well, all right. Well, then I guess you're
And
just gonna.
I did laugh out loud. Like I saw it and I commented that it was very funny that you're using expertly happy.
Thank you. I'm honored. Okay, I do have to put Pearly in this too now. Okay, you know, I do have to just go. I do have to go one more in here. That's 5 and it's 12, right?
Okay, I'm closing.
Probably. Ah, fuck.
I'm closing.
All right, that's fair. Dang.
I think I can't wait for Digimon TCG to get its digital release finally. God, please.
Yeah, no, I'm waiting for it. Like as soon as it comes out, I'll be all over it. But I don't believe it's come out yet, so I'm still.
No, it hasn't. I'm waiting. Everyone, go play the Digimon TCG. It's really good.
Yeah, everyone go play the Digimon TCG. This is a Digimon. This is a Digimon stream now. All right, Zico. I'm expecting you to make this your profile picture going forward.
No.
Yeah. I'll post this to Blue Sky. All right. Should I raid into Soro or should I raid into Bunfinity?
Your choice. Follow your heart. I am gonna hop off call now, though. I am sorry.
All right, or we'll go to Soro. I haven't raided Soro in a while.
Woo!
All right, thank you, Zico, for hanging out. You're awesome. Shout out Zico. Everyone go buy Zico. Zico's some drawings. Go buy Zico food and do it by buying drawings.
Thank you. Appreciated.
All right, peace out, everybody.
Bye.
Bing bong. All right. Thank you everybody for being here. This was really fun. And as soon as I'm better at it, you're going to be like, damn, this is like a staple of my Yugi tubing diet. I'm feeding you Yugi tubing. You know, I do apologize, but feeding you Yugi tubing, that's your diet. You are going to get the Yugi slop, and it's going to be tasty, delicious Yugi slop, because that's what I'm going to feed you. And I just say stuff, don't I? I'm glad Zico is here because I enjoy bouncing off somebody more than I enjoy trying to think of something that's independently just funny enough. That's also not just intrinsically meant to be annoying. So, anyways, we'll be back tomorrow with it's not Yu-Gi-Oh. It's not Helldivers. Oh, it's gonna be ranked competitive breast growth. Yeah, tune in tomorrow for a ranked competitive breast growth live reaction to the chapters 8 through like 16. So I'm excited for that. I hope you are too. I'll be streaming with Madame Noel. More combo goodness for y'all. Now we're gonna raid over to Soro. Soro's playing some Digimon. Let's go send her some love. That's gonna be it for me tonight. Thank you so much for everybody for watching. Hope y'all stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.